Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Check. What's happening, my man?
I'm so happy.
So happy to see you.
Wow.
What's going
Joe,
on?
thank you so much, first
My
of all.
pleasure.
Feel like, you are the loudspeaker of the planet, man, and I'm so honored to be here.
That's a very uncomfortable position to be in. I'll tell you that. It's very weird.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. But look, I mean, you've talked to everybody in the planet, and I think I'm honored to be your first arm wrestler.
Yeah, well, if I'm going to have an arm wrestler, it has to be the GOAT.
Oh, highly debated, but I'll take it.
You're in
Thank
the
you.
conversation.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
for
in the
damn
conversation.
Sure.
There's a couple of us, I think. John Brzenk. I don't know, how close do you follow arm wrestling?
Very little.
Yeah.
I follow you. Well, I'm most fascinated by the fact that you can't extend your arm.
Yeah.
His arms don't straighten out.
No, they don't, unfortunately.
That's
didn't
crazy.
work. Yeah. It didn't work when I was trying to fight Thor either. It kind of limited the extension. But
When did that start happening?
so I was, I got into club arm wrestling. I arm wrestled when I was a kid, but I got into club arm wrestling around like 18. By the time I was 20 or so, we have this champion called Crazy George. Okay. He's like a very old, very decorated champion. And he famously, at the time for me, he couldn't straighten his elbows. And I was like, oh man, I can't wait till my elbows don't straighten. like a silly wish, right? So it started early. Like, I think I was like, probably like in my late 20s. And it just, the range started to shrink.
And what is that from?
It's just pressure mostly, like just the constant pressure on the elbow joint causes, osteophytes potentially. Like, and it doesn't happen to all the arm wrestlers.
Have you got an MRI on it
I've had 3 surgeries
to straighten them out?
to remove bone and scar tissue,
Just chip bones and stuff?
chip bones. Dr. Pollock, bless his soul, at the Ottawa Hospital has extended my career till this age. Yeah, it can. That's probably one of the worst chronic conditions that arm wrestlers get. Is if the bone growth gets bad enough, it can start to constrict your nerves or blood flow, and that's when it becomes a problem.
Has that happened to you?
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was probably it was like 2013, so like 13 years ago is when I had my first surgery. And at that point, like trying to move forward.
Pull it out as far as you can go. That's it?
That's it, buddy. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the left is a little more than the right, it looks like.
Probably a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've had 2 surgeries on the right, 1 on the left. But in my mind, it's a small price to pay. Like I'm as all in arm wrestling as you can possibly be. And this is our cost of admission for some of us, and
Does that happen to every arm wrestler?
No.
No?
no, there's lots of arm wrestlers. It's a style thing. It's a genetic predisposition. I rolled the dice wrong one day and had a bad match. I think what happens is it's the pressure, it's the bones over time. If you're a dummy and keep on doing it when you should probably rest, that probably doesn't help. And I'm guilty, So
Like most of the greats.
anyways,
everything.
It doesn't affect me in the sport. I call it weaponized arthritis. Okay. Because there are ways you can kind of make your loss of range work for you at times.
Really?
Yeah, because there's like if you're doing an arm bar, okay, like your body resists with the ligaments and the tendons. Mm-hmm. So that starts higher for me. And I think that there's a muscular strength component that kicks in as well right at the end of the range to protect you. So I just have a higher, arm bar,
Did it help you in arm bars as well?
Oh God, no, it doesn't. A good jiu-jitsu guy is still gonna arm bar me. No,
Well, it's also the bones would just snap.
yeah, it's just gonna snap higher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
snap in bad places.
Yeah,
Did you ever try hanging from like a chin-up bar to straighten it out?
I've tried a lot of things.
I saw a video with you and Juju Mufu.
Yeah.
Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Juji.
Juji.
Yeah.
Juji Mufu?
Yeah, Juji Mufu.
Okay,
John Call. Yeah, he's great.
He's great. He's such a character. But they were rolling. They were trying to like do some stuff with like these big metal bars to roll out your muscles, and you were in fucking agony.
Yeah.
I was like, that is crazy to watch. Like, you really can't straighten your arm. And when they were trying, you were screaming.
Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible. I've kind of just accepted it.
Did you ever try to hang?
I've tried
bars?
so many things, but when I was young, when I was 20, I was wishing for the day that I could be like Crazy George.
Wait, your arm doesn't straighten out.
It's interesting, you know, like if I was like all about straightening my arm, I could probably still do it because the bone is actually removed. Now it's a sheath. There's like a capsule that surrounds the joint that is probably the root cause of it.
What is the capsule made out of?
I believe it's fascia, just connective structure. I think it encapsulates the joint.
So everything is just sort of condensed to hold the joint together?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of a unique study. If you were like a physiologist or you're studying human anatomy, you would say, okay, like what is possible?
Yeah.
You know, like do you know about David Goggins' knees?
I know David Goggins. I don't know about his knees.
His knees are so great. He's bone on bone with both knees. And he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, I don't know how you can walk with these knees. Forget about run thousands of miles. So his knees had it's what is it called, Jamie? It's like wolf something. It's like there's a condition when you're bone on bone for so long where the bone actually spreads out. And the doctor said, I'd heard about this in theory. I've never seen it on an actual human being where his knee, the bone had grown out so weird that his knees were moving at like odd angles. So they had to saw his tibia and move his knee down. So he's still bone on bone, but now he has a flat surface. And so they cut it and then screwed it into place. And then he just rode a stationary bike for like fucking 5 months like a maniac and then started running again. Bone on bone.
Beautiful. Love it.
It's crazy.
He's wild, man.
See if you can find what the condition is.
It says it's called Wolff's Law, biological principle stating that bones adapt and grow thicker and denser under physical stress. Is that?
I think that's it. Yeah. And his grew thicker and like kind of mushroomed out at the top of the knee because there's nothing there. There's no, and it's just bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
So it just kept growing out. And if you see, do we have the images of the surgery? I know I sent it to you a long ass time ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's showing a bunch of pictures from when he was on here.
So see that where the fingerprints on his shin? That's because he had so much edema on his leg that he could squeeze it and put that's after the surgery.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, but look at the actual, look at that, the photo of what the knee looks like.
That's not him.
That's not him.
That's like an image of what it looked like.
Okay, so they saw it and then they screw it down in place. They saw it slightly, like a wedge off a piece of wood. You lower it, level it out, and then screw it in place.
Yeah, for sure I have something similar. I've been bone on bone for probably 2 decades.
Really?
Yeah.
All the cartilage is gone.
Nothing. So when I went in and got my surgery, doctor told me I have there's nothing there but bone. He said, Devon, maybe we can give you another couple years on your career, maybe.
How long ago did you say this?
That was like 15 years ago. I'm probably, no kidding, I probably pulled off my best show ever 6 weeks ago. So.
Really? How old are you?
I'm 51.
That's amazing.
And I have another shot at the world title. I'm still #1 in the divisions. So, I'm lucky, but I think the doctors will say something, but it's just not true. You can do anything,
Well, Goggins is a perfect example of that, and I guess so are you. It's like the idea that you can't do something is based on when most people quit.
Yeah. Pain is a interesting thing to try and master, It's information, and you have to be able to live with it and work with it, but it's good. It's good to have this pain because it's kind of a guide on where you need to get better. The tendons and the tendinous structures of the elbow are super, super taxed in arm wrestling. And the process of rehabilitation and development of these structures under great duress and trauma is difficult, and it requires a lot of time and monotony, which a lot of people aren't willing to put in.
I'm shocked at how much time grip training takes.
Yeah.
It takes forever. I've been trying to jack those grip strength things. The strongest I ever got to is 164. And I'm like, I want to get to 200. I feel like in my lifetime I can get to 200. I can't get past 164. And the thing is, like, I keep lifting weights with my arms. And I'm always tired. So like every time I squeeze that thing, my hands are always sore. So I'm like, shit, I got to take some time off to see if I can get it stronger. And so I'm doing all these wrist curls, and I've got the forearm finisher from Golden Grip, and I've got these big fat things that I use for cables to rotate wrists. And my hands got bigger. I'm definitely stronger, but it's like I don't know when to lay off of it, or when to like. How many days a week do you do grip training?
What's your guess?
Every day.
Of course.
Every day.
Every day.
And is that the way to do it? Is that the smart way to do it? Because I know you talk to a lot of those rock climber guys, and they have the craziest grip strength.
Yeah. One of the things that I'll just say right away is a lot of people associate grip with arm wrestling, and 100%. It's of massive importance. But the real technical nuance of the sport is to try and make the other person hold on to you. Right? So it's not necessarily, grip is more like defense and added offense. But the first step is to try and tax the other person's grip. But
how do you do that?
I think that we are opening up like technical arm wrestling. Okay.
Open it up.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. So I think from my position, the opening move in arm wrestling is a concept called rising. Like, you know the movie Over the Top? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is the opening step of the sport. And what it is basically an attempt to get a better grip. And if I can, the concept of making the other opponent hold on to you, that's the first step in technical supremacy. Okay, if you can make the other person hold on to you, if you can touch their fingers, if you can get their fingers activated and they're holding on to you, they're less efficient.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's about attacking weakness more than it is about going where you're strong.
So they're the most efficient when it's palm to palm and everything's gripped nice and tight. Mm-hmm. And as soon as you get like out here,
you want the pressure interaction to be unfair to your advantage.
Right.
Right? Like if we were to arm wrestle, you would want to put the pressure in my fingertips, like with like almost like a hammer type motion. Mm-hmm. Right? So you're basically, it's almost like a curl. It's more complicated, but that's like the first way to start to think about it. Like people think about arm wrestling and think about pinning each other.
Right.
And this is a very short-sighted way to think about the sport. You think about pulling the match close to you. This concept of rising is this upwards, spinning, slipping motion where the end result is you have a better grip. And anything that they try and do, it's going to go through the weakest system they have, which is their fingertips. Yeah. So it is great to have an awesome grip.
But
really,
that's not everything.
So like proportionally in my workload, if I was doing 21 sets, 21, or I think I do 21 working sets typically in my workouts, one of them is dedicated purely to grip.
Every day.
All day.
All day. So you just do them throughout the day.
I lead a very simple life at the moment.
So structure it. Like, how do you do it?
My structure right now, and I think that I'm probably one of the most dedicated arm wrestlers in the world in terms of like what I do with my life and how much energy I give the sport, is I base it off of a week. Okay, so I train with the club probably twice a week. This changes, but typically I'm going twice a week, and these are my hardest days. And I go in there and I just completely redline and max out in the sport. Okay, all the exactly what I got to do, I'm doing at my highest capacity. I have my family, we're all arm wrestlers. So my kid, he's a pro too. He's competing this weekend.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we have our own thing where we'll we'll train together. But really 2 hard sessions a week, and then whatever I fit in with my kids. And then the rest of the days are like mindless, not just the monotony level is extreme. My wife and I'm retired, right? So I have nothing but time. And I just try and put everything into it. So like, it's all day, man. It's all day. I wake up and I'm training like all day.
So these machines, like this is some of the shit that you have.
Yeah.
Now, is this a machine that's specifically designed for arm wrestling? Did this exist, or did you help create this?
This actually machine is handed down for me from the best female arm wrestler ever to exist, Leanne Dufresne, Johnny Roberts. So this is like a very standard arm wrestling equipment. It's basically an arm wrestling table with a cable system. And this is super old, okay? This table you're looking at here, that's like 40-year-old table. And it's still working. But yeah, you can buy a pulley system on a table. And that's really, like this is basically all I do. I work off of a table, different angles, different pressures that all just replicate the pressures in arm wrestling.
So you have a fat grip, looks like a PVC tube, and then you're using that to work your fingertips and roll your wrists and just get to be really strong at that position where you're turning someone's wrist over?
We call that a multi-spinner. And what's interesting about it is you see it's a single point attachment. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit like Swiss ball for the wrist. So it's
Swiss ball? What's that?
You know, like a Swiss ball, like people do like squats on them, like the ball in the gym. People do like
like a Bosu ball? Is that what it's called?
Bosu's like a half, right?
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Swiss ball is like just the big round balls that. Yeah, and you see people
like a yoga ball,
yeah.
Whatever they call them.
Right. You ever jumped on a Swiss ball and done squats or anything?
No.
Okay. Well,
I have the half one.
Yeah.
That I do stuff on.
Yeah, Swiss ball is way more unstable. So it's a similar concept where it's very unstable through the wrist. Mm-hmm. And there's different wraps, but there's like a few base moves in arm wrestling, probably top rolling, hooking, and pressing.
And you just do shit like this all day?
All day. And this is in my taper, okay? I know, it's crazy. That's the hardest part.
This is in your what room?
This is in my basement.
Oh, your base room.
Yeah. And what you see here, this was actually my final workout before I pulled the Russian champion, Vitaly Letin, like 6-7 weeks ago. So I've tapered. Normally, all these movements you see, I'm doing like 100 repetitions. So lots of blood flow.
And when you're doing 100 repetitions, like what, 50% max weight?
No.
Like, what do you weigh?
Nothing.
Nothing. Like 20 pounds, something light?
Yeah.
Really?
Movement.
Is that the key?
I experiment a lot, okay? I've done so many different systems, but this is what I've come up with that I think is best. So basically, it all revolves around these arm wrestling practice days where it's 100%, this is what I want my body to maximize about. But the off days, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, it's all day just doing blood flow. Just increasing the amount of blood that flows through the fascia, flows through these chains in arm wrestling motions. And the 100 is, all I'm trying to do is increase my circulation, especially through my connective structures. And movement is so essential.
Why is that more beneficial than like hard strength training, like small reps, like low numbers of reps but high weight?
So super debatable. Okay, and I've done all of it. Mm-hmm. What I've found is, in my opinion, you only have so much energy, and this is something we got to really weigh in, because if I could just smash, heavy stuff all the time and take steps forward, I'd do it. But I've found that you don't want to detract from the thing that you're really, really trying to do. So anything that takes away from your ability to do that, I think you should look at cutting. The best part of my training is on the table. So anything that kind of messes with that, I don't want to do it. I've done a lot of systems where I'm lifting heavy, but the thing is they take energy, they take resources, and what I really want to do is prepare my body so I can do that specific task as good as possible. The high rep training heals me. It heals me. A lot of people are like, oh, that's a lot of work, and I'm like, it's really not. It's a form of healing almost. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just the blood flow and the consistent movement and high repetitions.
Yes. This is highly debated, okay? But I'm proving it over and over the years. I started doing, because arm wrestling is a strength sport, no doubt about it. So right away people think, oh, heavyweight and high reps is dangerous because you're going to become an endurance guy and it's going to make you weaker. But when you go low, your work volume is tremendous. Okay, if you're doing lightweight all day long, I mean, the amount of total weight that you're lifting becomes astronomical. And I think that adaptation over long periods is wonderful. And you can't get the blood flow through the connective structures without movement. So this is really why I do it. The healing aspects, the overall metabolic conditioning that you get. And the taper is a big part of it as well. But yeah, I'm doing all my heavy lifting specifically in the sport. Like I'm not doing my heavy lifting at this time in my career. And also, Joe, I'm 51 and I'm plagued with injuries. So I have to be very specific. I have to be very precise. This is the best formula I've come up with.
And when you were younger, did you approach it differently?
I have made so many mistakes.
What was the initial approach? Just lift as heavy as you can?
Yeah, lift as heavy as I can.
Well, you're a giant dude already, right? So you already naturally have like big bones, big genetics. So did you power lift? Like what'd you do initially?
I was a judo guy. I was a basketball guy. I was a military guy. So I did a lot of different stuff. I was very cross-trained. I even did Ironman for a bit. But
God, that's got to be so hard for you.
Yeah.
All that weight?
Yeah. When I say Ironman, apologies, not traditional, military Ironman. So
what's the difference?
Military Ironman, you're doing it with a backpack, you're portaging a canoe, you're paddling, you're running with a backpack. So that race, a winning time is, probably anything under 6 hours, like 5.5 to 6 hours. So it's long duration, but it's slightly heavier. So I'm still big, even for that. Like most champions, most guys who win the Ironman are, average size or even smaller. But the size, I'm a bigger person. But yeah, I did a lot of different sports, but I've always loved arm wrestling. It's always been the one I've come back to. It's,
What is it about it?
I think that there's a lot of things about it. For me personally, it was my first sport. Like I started arm wrestling with my grandmother when I was like 4 years old.
With your grandmother?
Yeah.
Really?
Never underestimate the power of a grandmother. Yeah. I was a rowdy little kid. And with a German mother who didn't let me do too much crazy stuff around the house, and my grandmother used to come over, and it was a reward system. She'd tell me to do chores, and the result was I got to arm wrestle with her. Yeah, I never beat her.
That's crazy.
I never beat her. It's funny. Her name was Levon, and the current super heavyweight world champion is Levon. So I've never beat either of them. Yeah, it's a bit trippy. But yeah, so I started young. I love arm wrestling because it's a very safe fight. Okay, like I love fighting. Everything in my life has been about fighting, and arm wrestling is one of those fight sports that has super low cost. Like we don't punch each other in the head. I'll be able to walk, nothing on my spine. My elbows don't straighten, So it's low cost. You can do it your whole life. Like we've had world champions in the open division who are almost 70.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's cool, right?
That's incredible.
I love it.
How's that possible?
Yeah, the hand is weird. Like this thing here is designed for volume, and it just slowly builds. The hand the structure has so much connective tissues in it, so much tendon, and it takes so long to build. Age is an advantage in a lot of ways because you just have more time to get further in arm wrestling. Yeah, I'm 51. I'm telling you, I probably competed at the highest level, and I believe I can still go further. It's non-typical, It's non-typical. And the thing that I love most about it, the very most, is the family and the bonds. Arm wrestling clubs are special places. It's very blue collar. It's all open doors, man. There's not a lot of money associated with the sport in terms of membership fees. We arm wrestle in each other's garages and houses, and it breeds a very tight family. Like, I consider the club that I train with, like, they're my family. Like, so that's that's what sport's all about, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And arm wrestling is very conducive to that.
So when you say it's non-typical that you could compete at this level, at this age, how old are, like, most of the top guys?
I'd say that you hit your probably peak typically when you are low 30s. So very standard, you know. Oh, that's my buddy Pork Chop. Oh, there's Crazy George. This is the guy, okay? So this guy...
Which one's Crazy George?
The dude who's down there, not the guy in the green shirt. So these are both my good buddies.
And this is the guy who can't straighten his arms out?
He can't, no. He's super locked up, okay? But so he's doing this move called a King's move, or outside top roll. And you see Pork Chop's wrist is bent back. I love Porky. I train with Porky twice a week. But yeah, Crazy George. And Crazy George is like 160 pounds. And
Really?
Yeah, and Porky's like 230, completely tremendously jacked and strong. Yeah, and Pork Chop is like a professional arm wrestler pulling at East versus West. Okay, that's our highest league. And Crazy George is, yeah,
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's completely incredible. Yeah. There's another guy from our club, Matt Smith, against Crazy George. I think Matt actually may have beaten him here. This is actually the time period of Crazy George's downfall, okay? So
how old is Crazy George in this film?
He'd probably be late 60s here, okay?
Wow.
Yeah. He's an absolute legend to me in sport. Like, technically, so this guy, he spent the first, like, 20 years in the sport, 2 up, 2 down, okay? You go to tournament, double elimination. And that's the Canadian champ. These guys are all champions that you see him arm wrestling with. And he invented, basically, he didn't invent it, but there were very few people doing this style of arm wrestling. Okay, we call it an outside top roll or a King's move. And he really figured it out, and very difficult to deal with.
And what is he doing? He's dropping down and lowering his body weight.
Yeah, so there's many kind of main strengths in arm wrestling, okay? There's rising strength. There's pronational strength. There's cupping strength. And this pronational, you see this, like, this is like my favorite example.
Jesus Christ,
okay?
Look at that thing. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Show that.
Right,
Look,
so
look at that. Who the fuck has that muscle?
Right. Arm wrestlers.
That muscle's so weird.
Yeah. Right, so that
I don't even think I have that. Where is that?
Yeah, it's right there.
That's
It's
nuts.
Right.
That's mine is non-existent.
I was going to interrupt. I saw it on this thumbnail, and I was going to say, what is that?
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out.
fucking crazy.
It's one of my dreams to have bodybuilders when they're, you know, IFBB, just to be doing pronator poses one day. It's
I don't even have that.
You got it. First, turn your thumb down.
Like that?
Yeah, and pop your wrist back. There it is. See it?
Where?
There
This
it is.
little bitch-ass
Yeah.
thing?
There you go.
This little,
That's the
my
one.
little bitch ass.
That's the one.
Fucking little bitch ass muscle. God, that's
So-
hilarious. That's gigantic.
Yeah. So, like, different styles in arm wrestling, okay, like, they have different roots, okay? And the King's move, top rolling in general, outside top rolling, is super dependent on pronation.
So it's all this.
Twisting, yeah. Twisting, yeah. It's weaponized, right? We get really strong, and there's a relationship between all the angles in the hand. The hand is very complex, right? All sorts of stuff it can do. And the main 2 drivers, cupping we call it, flexion, and pronation. And these 2 interact. So when one pronates, it attacks the other one's cup. So there's a relationship between them. So Crazy George is like the master of pronational styles. King's move is pronation style. I, over the course of my career, changed techniques. Probably my best technique is an open top roll or a King's move now. Yeah, and I learned a lot. It's like the guy that, one of my first coaches, a guy called Troy Eaton, he he could never beat George. He couldn't beat George. We tried for years to figure him out. So, and that was back when I was like 20, right? So I've been studying this style for 30 years. And yeah, it's a combination of locks and giveaways and balancing. Arm wrestling things happen really quickly, very, very quickly. But it's a balancing act of all these different strengths.
So what is it about you that's able to keep competing at a very high level into your 50s?
I think...
is it this approach where you're just doing all these reps all day long? Do you think that's a big part of it?
Huge.
Huge.
Huge part of it.
Because you're constantly forcing your muscles to work, you're constantly getting blood flow, and you're not losing any strength.
Yeah.
As you get older.
It's a huge part of it. Yeah, my work volume probably exceeds most people in the sport with that. So metabolically and from a health perspective, it keeps my tendons and ligaments really functional. And you know, I'm just a very simple and obsessed person, and I arm wrestle at every opportunity.
Don't you also have some very freaky genetics?
Oh.
Like, didn't Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is his last name?
Rossner. This guy's the best.
Very interesting guy.
Smartest person I know.
Geneticist, and he was explaining to me how unusual your genes are.
We all have unusual genes.
Yeah, but you have like really unusual genes.
Well, that topic is so big, you know, the genetic piece. I think that what a massive piece going forward for our species, you know, the mastery of genetics. It's right at the top, I think, of our highest priorities, you know.
There was a thing that they were talking about last night in the green room. See if you could find this. They think they might have figured out a way to end Down syndrome. They think they might have figured out a way with genetic engineering, with CRISPR or whatever they're using, whatever modalities they're using, to end Down syndrome.
Sure.
Which is wild.
I think that there's so many answers with genetics. You know, I personally believe that, and you know, this is a big topic with freedom and everything like that, but I really believe that when you're born, you should be swabbed, and it should accompany your health, you know, card or whatever, and just as a information. You know, there's so much.
Well, it probably will be in the future as all these techniques and all this new stuff comes out. CRISPR takes a bold leap towards silencing Down syndrome's extra chromosome. Wow. So scientists have taken an important step towards a gene therapy that could one day turn off the genetic material that causes Down syndrome. Down syndrome is a genetic condition caused by an extra chromosome 21 and consequently hundreds of triplicate genes that lead to developmental and neurological issues. According to Washington-based National Down Syndrome Society, 1 in every 640 babies in the United States is born with Down syndrome. That makes it the most common chromosomal condition. So what is it doing here? Okay, so Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center and Harvard Medical School found a way to silence much of the extra chromosome's activity in the cell at once. Details of their research are published in a paper in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Wow. So what is weird about your genes, though? Ryan told me, but I don't remember. He goes, you got to talk to him about his genes.
Well, Ryan's actually got to talk to. I mean, I'm a high school educated guy, and I've been down to Austin several times to hang out with Ryan. I absorb everything I can from this guy. But I think that my genetics, I think I'm predisposed to endurance, actually.
Endurance?
I think so. I think if you take an overall look at my genetics, I think I have a lot of, you know, favorable mutations that are, you know, predispose me to good, but it's weird. I don't know, man. Listen, the genetic side of things, I'll sound silly if I try and talk too much about it. I'll just tell you that there are favorable genetics for sure. You know, there's favorable mutations, and it's amazing, you know, if you could capture all of them from everybody and you know, put it together, and you never know what
you'd get. Brian Shaw.
We've scanned Brian. Yeah. That's the thing. So this project that Ryan is doing, and I like to help him out a little bit. We've been looking at elite performers, and with the goal to find favorable mutations. And yeah, we scanned Brian.
He's in the
Surprise.
Bible.
Yeah.
That guy's in the
Yeah, he is.
Bible.
Yeah, he is.
He's like, David and Goliath.
Yeah.
They're real people out there like that.
Yeah, Brian.
So his genetics are 1 out of every 500 million people. Isn't it something crazy along those lines?
Yeah, he's completely he's right at the peak of human performance, right from a genetic standpoint.
Just freakish.
Freakish.
Bone density.
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything. And it's not just his bone density, the dude's mindset. Like there's many pieces of Brian's genetics that make him a champion. But yeah, he has some stuff in him that Ryan's never seen. Yeah, he has. And I probably shouldn't be speaking about other people's medical stuff, but I love Brian and he can sue me if he wants. Nobody has his growth hormone. He has a different type of growth hormone.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's the same.
What?
I don't think he has this. We're opening something so cool because you talked about the Down syndrome, and there's some very interesting stuff with that. But yeah, Brian, I don't believe that Brian's growth hormone is the same as yours and mine.
What does that mean?
It might be molecularly different, or it might have. You're going to have to talk to Ryan. But
his growth hormone is different. Like, is it a different kind of growth hormone?
He has a mutation in his growth hormone.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, he's almost 7 feet tall and he's 400 pounds.
Yeah, and he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. But it's weird, the whole like Down syndrome thing. They can do stop codes. Like some genes, like some mutations that you get, from what I understand, there's like a stop code on a gene. So whatever your gene is, when the, I guess, mRNA lands on it and starts to do its thing, like there can be a stop code or something that just stops that gene from expressing. And I think that that's likely what they do with that. They'd somehow insert a stop code. But I mean, there's people out there who have like world records, like for things like deadlift, that don't have fast twitch muscle according to their genetics. So it's really weird.
What do you mean they don't have fast twitch muscle?
Like they have a stop code on their fast twitch genetics.
Just naturally.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
They're just born weird.
Born super weird. Yet they're capable of beating world records on the deadlift. So
wouldn't you think that deadlift is a fast twitch thing?
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
I don't either. It's an amazing field. Genetics is an amazing field.
Is that a lack of understanding of what fast twitch do? Or is it they can compensate with the other muscles in some way?
I don't think it's other muscles because I think that it would probably apply to all the musculature. So there's something that we don't understand. There's something weird going on. Eddie, you can sue me. Eddie Hall, I love you. I love you. Eddie's got a stop code.
In his genes.
On fast twitch muscle. Makes no sense.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Makes no sense.
He moves so fast.
I know.
And he hits so fucking hard. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
I've seen that guy hit mitts, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
I know.
Is this what the Hercules
No.
gene? Not
No.
that?
No.
Something else?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's myostatin.
Yeah.
That's myostatin inhibitors.
Yeah.
So it regulates the production of myostatin, a protein that stops muscles from growing too large. So with myostatin inhibitors, they've done that with, I'm sure you've seen those whippets that
Yes,
have it.
of course.
So whippets are a weird dog. It's a very skinny, fast dog. And some whippets are born with this genetic mutation that's a myostatin inhibitor, and they look like the Hulk. It's the show an image of that, please. It is the craziest thing. That doesn't look like a real dog.
Right.
That doesn't look like a real dog. That's a crazy bodybuilder dog. Because if you see a regular whippet, show me a regular whippet now, please.
Yeah.
Regular whippets. Look at a regular whippet, like a real fast, like almost like a greyhound looking dog. And then you see the ones with the myostatin inhibitor gene, and you're like, what the hell is going on? They look like the most freakish bodybuilder of all time, but in a dog form. And some humans have that.
Belgian blues also. The Belgian...
The cows.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And they have it too.
Yeah.
So they offer already genetic therapy that gives you follistatin. So there's a balance between follistatin and myostatin. From what I understand, like the key that turns on the cell for growth is follistatin. And myostatin tells the cell to stop growing. You're big enough.
Right.
Important. Very important.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have myostatin, all that turnkey gets is follistatin. So the only signal that you're ever getting with a myostatin deficiency is follistatin. And so, so they offer a genetic therapy that increases your follistatin.
They offer it to who?
Anybody
Jamie's ready to get jacked.
Anybody with enough money.
Rhymes with peptide.
There's a bunch of genetic therapies that they've already created. Follistatin is one of them.
And so that would be for power lifters or football players or someone who just wanted to get fucking huge?
I think initially it was created for longevity because as you age, your follistatin drops. And that's why people get smaller, they shrink as they get older.
Right.
And follistatin just helps you maintain
muscle mass.
Yes. So it's I think it's mostly promoted as an anti-aging remedy, but absolutely. Like you want to get your performance up, increase
They're doing so many wild things now. They've got this new therapy now for people with disc degeneration. I'm sure you have it. I have it. A lot of people have it. Especially anybody who does jiu-jitsu has it. Your discs just get worn out from getting cranked on, and like heavy lifters always have it. Lower back issues. The disc is the soft cushion in between the spinal columns, and those big bones push down that disc, and over time and all that compression, it squashes. But now they've got stuff that they can inject into the disc that inflates the discs.
Yeah.
And so all these people that have been getting artificial discs and fusions and all the problems that come with that, because there's massive problems, they're going to be able to eliminate that, which is amazing.
Super cool.
Oh, so super cool. And I tell everybody, if you could avoid back surgery, please avoid back surgery. Don't fucking do it. There's a lot of different ways. Like, I always tell everybody, and I'll tell everybody again, Louis Simmons, his invention, that invention, the reverse hyper, fucking incredible. One of the greatest invention ever for people with lower back problems. I have one here in the studio. I have one at my house. I fucking swear by that machine. It's so good. It decompresses the spine on the decel, and on the uplift when you're lifting up the weights, it strengthens the muscles out. It's like a perfect exercise for lower back issues.
Yeah, it's wild when we look at the future in terms of performance and how far the age is being pushed. Like we see Crazy George, but I think I'm optimistic that all the ages are just going to be pushed and pushed until you're probably maybe not going to be a champion until you're 60.
That's crazy.
Right?
That's crazy. Well, that's for arm wrestling.
Well,
I wonder what's going to happen with the thing with regular sports, the stuff that's pushing this stuff is performance-enhancing drugs. You know, peptides, stem cells, not really, that's not really a performance-enhancing drug, but for injuries. But testosterone, all these different steroids, all these different things. The thing about, like, combat sports in particular is that you can't use those things. They're not allowed. But when you can use them, you see these older athletes that have the mind of an older athlete, but the body that works like a young guy.
Right.
My favorite example of that is Vitor Belfort when he was in his prime.
TRT Belfort. Yeah.
TRT Vitor was the scariest fucking guy ever.
Yeah.
Because he was jacked up with testosterone, but he was also 37 years old with a lifetime of combat sport experience, a lifetime of intelligence, but hadn't lost any speed, hadn't lost any strength, and in fact had like superhuman speed and strength because he was juicy, super juicy. But but it makes you think, like, man, what would the sport look like if that was open to everybody?
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
It is interesting because there's a lot of guys that want to keep competing, but their body just doesn't respond the way it used to training because they're 37 or 38 or 39 or.
Yeah.
But if you could get them on the sauce.
Yeah. Right. Where's the limit?
Yeah.
Right.
And why not let them?
Absolutely. You know? Why not? You know, I'm a big believer in tested sport. You know, I think that that's wonderful. And I think that that'll never go away. And I think it's important. But I'm also a believer in open up the gates and let everybody play.
Well, that's why I really love this whole idea of doing the enhanced games. It didn't really pan out the way everybody hoped. Nobody really won any records other than the one guy in the swimming, but he wore a prohibited suit that lets you swim quicker, apparently. I don't understand swimming.
Yeah.
But I was hoping like you were going to see some freakish, superhuman performances. But I feel like if that's going to happen, that's going to take years. I don't think you would get the kind of gains that these people are hoping to get to achieve like world records, super freak human performance, unless you're doing that stuff for a long, like you know as well as anybody that training takes forever. It takes to build strength, to build speed, to build endurance. It takes a long ass time. You think you're gonna get strength in 3 months? Like you get a little stronger
For sure.
but you're not gonna get freakish strength for fucking years. It takes years.
Years. Decades.
Like Juji Mufu. Like how long has that guy been lifting weights? That guy's a fucking freak.
Yeah. You can't build this stuff overnight.
And I bet he would melt a piss cup. Whoo!
Listen, I think
Not
that
a chance.
Juji, look at myself included. You know, I care about performance. This is what I care about, and so many people fall into the same boat.
Look at that guy. There ain't a chance in hell that dude's natural.
You know, I'll tell you, Juji is probably
That's amazing though that he can do that. That kind of flexibility with that kind of mass is. Look at that. While overhead pressing, a full side squat or side split. That's nuts on chairs, Jean-Claude Van Damme style.
Juji started out tricking. Okay,
What does that mean?
Like it's a form of.
Because that sounds like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So he actually started off.
Sounds like he's picking up guys.
Yeah, no, Juji is super cool. It's like flipping.
Oh, he was on America's Got Talent?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's like a form of like acrobatics or gymnastics.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen him do acrobatic stuff, and it's really nuts.
Right.
Like his physical ability, like it defies what you expect from a guy with that kind of mass.
Right. Yeah. So he's a combined, like almost gymnast and bodybuilder. And he's probably better now than ever. And I think Juji's in his 40s.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's massive and healthy and, absolutely kicking ass. Probably the most positive human being that I've met.
Well, he seems super positive in his YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And we have snorted his fucking smelling salts. Like,
it's strong.
He's got the best stuff.
He does.
We've snorted his stuff about 100 times on this show.
Yeah, actually.
Look at him doing flips.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy that a guy with that kind of mass can move like that.
Juji is actually the inspiration for this modern, this latest way that I'm training. It was actually...
Really?
Yeah. Juji came up to my place probably about a year and a half ago, and we were just redlining in our two-hand work, okay? And it was so good.
Two-hand work?
Yeah, so I would be considered like the senior guy in my club. Okay, so, and we have this kind of rule in the club just to make things work properly. Senior holds, junior works. Okay, so the senior is kind of staying with you, floating with you, and the junior is able to control their intensity. So the guy who would normally win the match doesn't win.
You're just holding him in place. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, like defense work in jiu-jitsu.
Exactly.
Okay.
But just to help out that guy, typically will do two-arm work, okay, to kind of flip the script for him so somebody can hold, like me, with two arms and kind of let me get to red line. Yeah. So Juji and I were doing that like a year and a half ago, and it was so good, and it was so much fun. I was like, what am I doing, having anything kind of cut into this? And that's when I stopped doing heavy lifting. It was as a result of training with Juji.
So this two-arm work of just holding and just work on that, you feel is more important than all the lifting and all the other stuff?
Yeah.
Because it's sport-specific?
Exactly.
And does he arm wrestle?
He does, a little bit. Juji does everything.
But why did you working with him make you train differently?
Juji's a special guy. I think that just... You don't have to be the best in your field. If you have a certain energy or certain thing with you, Juji is a wonderful, creative, hardworking guy. And when you get a chance to train with him, it doesn't matter that his skill level. It's just his level of energy is so good that when we work together, it helps me. I don't know. I don't know how it happened, but he unlocked this understanding of the priority of that training for me. I've always done it. But never.
But how did he unlock it? I'm not getting it.
I think that our training session. So what happened was Juji came over, and I normally on days that I do table work, I do not hit the gym. okay? Because I don't want anything to kind of impact my table work. And because I only had a day with Juji, I wanted to show him how I was training. And at the time, I was training very heavy. So we did this circuit. I showed him all my latest exercises that I was prioritizing. And then we went to the club that night. And we had this awesome 2-arm work, but I felt as though, the singles and everything that I'd done earlier in the day had a slight effect. And I was like, I can't ever let that happen again. I need to make sure I put all my energy into this table training. And it's funny, being 51 and having over 30 years competitively in the sport, I still feel like I learn. I still feel like I change things from event to event. Yeah.
Well, that's a sign you're doing something fun.
Yeah,
right?
That's
if you
the key.
Continue to get better at it and continue to grow at it.
Key to life.
So just the one training session with him changed your perspective on that because you just weren't performing as well?
That was a tipping point. That was a tipping point for me. So I generally have a protocol, like a training kind of balance, a recipe that I'm going to follow pretty much from event to event.
And this is all made by you?
Is made by me, and I watch everything. I love arm wrestling, but I'm looking at sports. I'm always trying to get better. So yeah, it's my protocol that I come up with, and then I'll tweak it based off of my results. Okay, so if I'm doing good, not much changes. If I don't do as good as I think I should do, or there's like something, I'll tweak it from event to event. And yeah, and that night was the night that I decided I need to get rid of heavy weights because this is so good. This training is so good when done properly. And that's the key, when done properly. Like 2-arm work can suck. Like if you do 2-arm work wrong, it can hurt you, it can set you back. But when done properly, it's the best training that there can be. Yeah.
Specifically for
super
arm
specific.
Wrestling. And do you do stuff that's not specific for arm wrestling, just for overall body strength? Like, do you feel like there's a balance to be achieved?
This is the greatest criticism that I always receive as an athlete, is because I don't really.
Just arm wrestling stuff?
I go for walks.
That's it?
Oh, I'm terrible.
Really? No lunges, no leg curls?
I'm trying a little bit to work it back in some minimal way, but it's interesting, cross-training versus specialization. I have a long background in very broad training, okay? Like I once upon a time was a fit human being in many aspects, but I really care about being a champ, And I could probably be a healthier guy and be able to run and squat and deadlift, or I can be a little bit of a cripple and be pulling for world title shots is the way I kind of look at it, and I chose that.
Wow.
I should do more squats.
Well, my only thought would be that if you conditioned and strengthened your overall body, it would just help your overall strength.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the thought about deadlifting and squatting, is that it helps everything.
Yeah.
Because your whole body just becomes stronger. And it would just naturally, like your base, everything, your core, everything would just be much more, your foundation would be stronger.
I hear you.
But I don't know. I'm not an arm wrestler.
I don't know either. Okay. Everything. I'm playing with everything.
Mm-hmm.
This is constantly what pretty much every reasonable person tells me. And I just am like, I get to a point where I do my arm wrestling work and I'm like, okay, here I am. If I want to beat Levon, what do I do from here? And I just am like, more wrist curls. Look at my.
What does he do?
He's a bit more balanced than me. Levon lifts super heavy weights, like stupid.
What does this dude looks like? Show me
God.
Levon. What is his last name?
Saganishvili.
Whoa.
This is the
crazy
pinnacle
name.
of our sport. Okay, this is the guy.
How big is this dude?
He gets about 420. Yeah.
Oh my God!
I love this guy.
Look at the size of this motherfucker.
Holy
shit!
Yeah,
Say that's a little AI,
That can't be real.
No,
is that AI? Is that picture AI?
No,
that one right there.
Okay, that's real.
Oh my!
This is
God.
real. This is real.
I don't know, Jamie. That might be real. He might just be pumped.
Levon is the pinnacle. Okay, we scanned him too, and surprise, he's a weirdo also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Look at the size of that motherfucker.
He's in Little Rock in 2 days.
In Little Rock, Arkansas?
Yeah.
Where does he live right now?
Georgia.
Georgia, the country.
There's so many weirdos that come from Georgia.
Really?
Yeah, proportionately, their strength is not normal. Levon is nobody has beat this guy since 2017. He has absolutely flattened the field, okay? Like,
he's so hairy too.
Oh.
He looks like a primitive man. He looks like a science project. Look at the fucking size of that guy. Oh my god.
Smart guy. Cool.
I bet.
Very cool guy. I absolutely love Levon. He has beaten the piss out of me at every opportunity.
Well, he's so big.
Yeah,
dude.
he is. He is so big, and he's so good. He's like, he grew up in the trenches arm wrestling. Okay, he's not one of these guys who came in. He made his way through the world championships. Yeah, he hasn't lost in 10 years, man.
And so does he do different stuff than you do?
He does. A lot of the guys have different formulas. Okay, Levon does a lot of pull-ups, really heavy ones, and he does a lot of really heavy curls. This is the base, but he does all the same. Like, we do all the same exercises, just different formulas.
Now, when you hear the best guy is doing things different than you,
Yeah.
what keeps you from doing what he does?
So we are all different.
Right? That's what he used to look like? That's crazy. Shout out to steroids. Shout out to all the scientists out there.
He's very young in that first photo.
Oh, of course.
You know, he slowly evolved through the world championships to what he is today. Yeah, it's interesting when you see different champions, and I try and learn from everybody. I watch what everybody does. I see what they're doing. You have to also consider where your body's at. Okay, I can't do the things I did when I was 25.
Physically.
I just can't. I have, like I said, I've had surgeries.
But yet you can still arm wrestle.
Yeah.
So obviously you're very strong in these particular areas, and it's not holding you back at all. So what is holding you back when you say injuries?
Well, arm wrestling is a big thing, okay? There's several things that you can kind of choose to focus on. Probably my biggest limiting factor is my elbow, because I've had multiple surgeries on it. I burn it out. Like, at the beginning of my career, I was more of a hook-style arm wrestler. That's where, like, the primary kind of drive in the sport is the flexion of the wrist, and you're moving forward with your shoulder, and you're kind of trying to attack the person's arm more. But over time, my elbow just got broke down to the point where, I just don't have a lot of stability. Now, I continue to work on it, and quite honestly, my hooking now, this stability is probably pretty good. I think that we all as athletes do the best thing we think we can. And I think that the work that I do is very precise. Like, the way that Levon trains, and please, I don't like to criticize Levon. He's the best, okay? But egotistically and arrogantly, I'm going to say that my training's more precise than his. Okay, so I'm working on very precise angles, where he's a sledgehammer at times. Like, I'm working on very fine angles through my wrist. A lot of pronation in my style, a lot of hand control, a lot of table time. Like, I'm doing a lot of skill-based training. Levon's base movements, his row, he's doing a 180 kilo curl.
Two hands or one hand?
Two, but that's
crazy.
But he's the amount of weight that he's wrist curling. I'm never gonna get there. Okay, I'm never gonna catch him there. Okay, I need to catch him through something smaller. Like, I need to be able to, like a pit bull, like somehow nip onto like his fingertip and not let it go.
Because you're never going to be as big as him.
Probably not.
But do you think that it would benefit you at all to add size to get?
I try it for every single prep that I do. I'm trying in the super heavyweight division. I'm trying to get as big and as strong as I can.
What do you weigh now?
Today I'm probably 265.
And so you're giving up a considerable amount of weight.
When I compete, I can get up to 300. okay, when I'm competing. And hopefully by the time I face him again, I'll be my biggest ever. I hope when I pull him, I'll be 310 or 320, you know?
And when you do that, what would you do to get that big? Would you add a bunch of weightlifting stuff?
No.
No. What would you do? Just eat?
Eat. Stay in my basement, you know? Yeah.
But he's doing all this other stuff. This is why I'm confused. Like, have you tried adding all those chin-ups and all the different things that he does?
I am very far down the road. I'm very, very far down the road. I've been doing this for like 32 years competitively. I've gone through so many systems. While it is incredible to have a great row, while it is incredible to have a great wrist flexion, while it's incredible to have great legs. Like I go to tournaments sometimes and my legs are sore. But typically the reason why you win and lose the match is very small things in the hand and the wrist. Like this is typically the failure point. So I just try and put everything into the most valuable pieces that I think is actually going to determine my victory. And look, apart from Levon, it's working. You know, this guy has raised the sport, you know, and I continue to chase him. I continue to try and beat this dude. You know, my wife.
Have you gotten close?
The first time he tore my bicep.
Oh, whoa.
You know, see that tattoo?
Uh-huh.
See, it's a cat with 415. I used to call him a 415-pound pussy. You know, in the workup to the match, I was teasing him. And in Georgian, it says Levon was here because he ripped it. Second round. So that was, the first time was a wash. The second time I pulled him, I stopped him. I stopped him round one.
What does that mean?
So a lot of times in arm wrestling, get everything straight, don't move, go. And to stop a match means there's no movement.
So no one's winning.
Nobody's winning.
And you don't just keep going to the death?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, but I got, like, if you look up the second time that I arm wrestled for round one, yeah, okay. So this is the last time I pulled him, which is 2024.
And when you say pulled him, it means you have a match with him.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So everything goes to the straps. And I'm telling you, like...
So is that what happens when the match doesn't work out and the hands slip away from each other?
Straps.
Straps. Do you guys put powder in your hands or anything?
Yeah. Yep. Use chalk, but... Yeah, this sport is a strap-based sport at this point. Like, rules are evolving in arm wrestling. It used to be, well, in some leagues still you get a foul. If there's a slip, somebody's intentionally did it, or it's a neutral slip and then they go to the straps. But yeah, so we get to the straps, and this first round is the closest I've gotten to him. And in this match, I think he might have ripped my spine apart. Like, yeah, I couldn't walk properly for like 4 months.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm top rolling. I get into his wrist, and I'm just like, I'm in shock. I'm like, I can't believe. So I think I had the opportunity here to do a little bit more, like to seize the initiative, but I was in such shock that I got him to this point. And then here we go. His wrist is starting to go, and so that's a flop wrist press, and I get a foul, okay, see my shoulder goes below the table.
Uh-huh.
This is called decline humerus, and it's a foul. You can't do that.
So you start from scratch when
well,
that happens?
I'm actually on my second foul, so that's a loss because I was being too much of an idiot in the setup, and they gave me a foul. And then from here on, he just runs me over.
So it's a loss? What do you mean?
So in arm wrestling, if you get 2 fouls, it's a loss.
So the match is over.
Match is over. But see, this is best of 7. So from here, he runs me over. But this is the closest I've gotten. Okay, we've practiced since then. We've gone on to. I'll probably practice with him this weekend. But I'm slated to pull this monster again. It's gonna happen one more time for sure. It's what keeps me in my basement. It's
one guy.
This guy.
What the size of that motherfucker?
He's awesome. Oh, he's a beautiful human. I love this guy. He's lifting the sport in terms of performance. You know, like he's so hard to deal with. Yeah, And that's it, man. It just gets worse. It just gets worse. But yeah, so I can still win in like the 115 kilo division, in the 105 kilo division. I think I've got those ones pretty much wrapped up. But it's the open, man, to be the best.
Yeah.
Regardless of weight.
That's so much weight to give up.
I know, but
You're giving up, what, 135 pounds? Yeah.
But it's so cool to try. It's so cool to try. And what he does is he cleans my life up. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't do all this.
Really?
No, I'd be happy being the champ. But when you're not the champ, you're not happy, and you're going to do everything you can. So
even though you're a champ at your weight class, it's the open that haunts you.
Haunts me. Yeah. I've been there before. Like, so in 2008, I was actually, I won against this legendary figure of the sport, John Brzenk. He's considered the greatest of all time. John Brzenk, basically for 40 years, from the time he was like 18 to like almost 60, okay? He went undefeated basically undefeated for like 25 years. Yeah. In American. This guy, super cool, okay? Different era. And you'll see the difference, okay? So you'll see that this sport has changed. Okay?
Can we pull him up?
John Brzenk. John Brzenk's the GOAT. Yeah. Yeah, he'll be there this weekend too.
And is he still competing?
John is not really competing, but he's just so tied into the sport. I think it's inevitable that he comes back, but...
How old is he?
He's like 60, 61 or... Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's the man. This guy's the man. So, you know the movie Over the Top? Mm-hmm. So Sylvester, that's actually John. The tournament was real.
Really?
That was a real... The movie followed the tournament. And John is actually the guy who won it.
And John's not that big.
No, he's not.
How much does John weigh?
On a good day, on a great day, John's like 230.
Wow.
But when he was young and healthy, probably 195.
So when he was winning,
he went like 25 years around 210 pounds, beating every single person on the planet.
How?
He's awesome. John Brzenk. So John started arm wrestling when he was a kid with his dad, and he's one of the first guys.
Can we see him do it?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
John's one of the first guys who arm wrestling has kind of evolved in its respectedness, okay, as a sport. I think if you went back like 40 years and you talk about arm wrestling, people would be like, "Oh, that's cool. Yeah, let's go arm wrestle." And I'm gonna get better by arm wrestling by doing pecs and glutes and get my whole body strong. And John was kind of one of the first guys who was like, "I'm an arm wrestler. I practice arm wrestling. I go to tournaments. I don't need to lift weights." Okay, so he started young. The dude's thumb is probably like bigger than mine, and he's like, 6'1", 6'2". So he's to a certain degree built for it, but masterful technician.
So he doesn't lift weights?
No.
So all he did was arm wrestle to train for arm wrestling?
Isn't that wild?
That's crazy.
Right. So it gave.
He's not a big guy.
No, he's not. That's a former Russian champion, Zauer. Actually, no, Zauer might be Georgian. He might have been Russian at this time, but he's a Georgian. Yeah. John's technique was way above everybody's. Way above. I remember coming up, like I had heard about John Brzenk for years before I ever saw him. Because, it's pre-internet, right? John Brzenk, like, silently ruled the arm wrestling world for decades. Pre-internet, pre all this stuff. And he went around the world beating all the monsters, and this is who I actually got the world title from. So I beat John in 2008 for the world title. And it looks very different now, So I was probably the last of the small super heavyweights, if you call me small. Like I'm bigger than John, but not by a lot. See Denis Saplankov on the left. That guy's a really famous arm wrestler. He was one of the guys who really raised the level. So that guy had a strength level. Denis, he came in and he won the world title without really doing anything. Yeah,
I can't believe he doesn't lift weights.
He doesn't lift weights.
All he does is arm wrestle.
All he does is arm wrestle.
No other kind of physical training at all?
He's a mechanic. He's a special guy. Listen.
That's incredible, man.
The arm wrestling world loves and worships John Brzenk. He's the GOAT. He's like the forefather. Like I remember when I was coming up, I read everything this dude wrote. He is one of the reasons why we all kind of respect table time. Don't need weight so much. Specialization. John is kind of poster boy for specialization.
And what kind of training did he do?
Dude, he arm wrestled.
Just arm wrestled.
He would
he do specific things when he was arm wrestling?
And we keep asking the same questions about John. Like we think, like some people think he had like a secret setup in his basement and stuff like that. But everything kind of points towards, even if he's kind of kidding us and tricking us, it's certainly not a lot. He arm wrestled with his dad as a kid, okay? And, you know, they're practicing all the time. So this Iceman, okay, that's the guy who John beat to become kind of the best. Okay, this guy is like the guy before John.
So he was the original king of arm wrestling.
He is, yeah.
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker, yeah, Iceman. And he was the best for a long time, but John eventually beat him. You know, you see that's John is like a kid, right? John's probably like 17 there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, John arm wrestled like arm wrestling is going to make you strong.
Imagine.
Oh, you will get that. And that's a lot of reason why we get guys into the sport who are in the strength fields. Like if you're a strongman, if you're powerlifter, you try arm wrestling, you'll be so sore. You'll be like, oh my God, because people look for that, right? Like people want
something that can get you really sore.
Arm wrestling will get you so sore that you can barely move. I've been so sore from arm wrestling matches I can't even walk. I can't even get up for days, for days. Like,
wow.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Because it's something about the way the body's designed. Like we are actually probably designed to resist things from happening more than we are to make things happen. So we're very, very strong to stop things from happening. And arm wrestling is that's the strength we really hone in on, right? Because we're locking, we get into these locked positions, and then we're trying to open the other person up. And this process of being ripped open is super taxing, super taxing. So, yeah, John ruled the arm wrestling world for like 25 years. He's still around. Yeah, I'll get to talk to him tomorrow. Yeah.
And so do you think he thinks about competing again?
Of course he does.
But he doesn't. When was the last time he did it?
Last time he competed was in Dallas. He competed against a guy called Yoshi Kanai, who's the #1 guy from Japan. John is way past his prime, okay? Like John, when John was like in his 30s, he was like the Levon, but 210 pounds. Nobody could beat him. It took a while, but the thing is, arm wrestling got cool, you know, to a degree where we were on ESPN. Governments started to recognize it. So if you were from the right country, you know, you could be a pro arm wrestler, like if you're from Georgia or Turkey or Kazakhstan, you know, so the level started rising.
When did this start happening?
I think that governments started to recognize it. I'm going to guess here that a lot of them started to do it around the turn of the millennia. Okay, probably they started around then, but it takes a long time for it all to like get in. And some countries are still switching over. I think Sweden just got recognized, like I think within the last year or so. But once a country recognizes it as a sport, it's a massive influx of cash and support. So that'll raise the level. But what happened was there was all these leagues. Like there was the PAL in Europe, there was the WAL in North America, and it got the sport to a point where if you were the best, you could probably quit your job. Okay, and that was a huge step forward because, you know, yeah, that's a big step, right? And that happened around 2015.
And do you think that's because of the internet, like YouTube videos, like popularity increases, TikTok, Instagram, that kind of shit?
That was massive, but that happened a bit later. First, what happened, a lot of small little steps. You know, there was a documentary, Pulling John, that came out. there was a couple rich guys who thought arm wrestling was cool, and they just started to run leagues. Robert Drank with the UAL, Ultimate Arm Wrestling League out of California. I mean, it went from, like, when I first started the sport, Mike Gould Classic, if we won $500, it was the greatest day of our life, you know? It was so cool. We won $500. Like, you know, that was it. And then by 2010 or so, even before that, the PAL, we were talking about thousands of dollars, $10,000. WAL came along and we got a massive influx of money. You were talking about $20,000, okay? And then we were on ESPN, so there were sponsors, okay? So you could get some sponsor money. If you were the best, you could barely make it. You could barely make it. And then COVID happened. And COVID burnt down everything, burnt down all the leagues, which were kind of fractioning the sport, right? We had the best guys from Europe competing together, best guys from North America. When all the leagues burnt down from the ashes, and a lot of people, and that's when TikTok and YouTube really started kicking, because everybody was locked in their house, and somehow arm wrestling got found. And our views went through the roof. People started to follow. Arm wrestling is good for TikTok attention span. You know, you can see a whole,
sure.
yeah. And then, yeah, so East versus West came along, and now we're everything. UFC, we're like the UFC of arm wrestling now, East versus West. All the best guys in the world all pull at East versus West. And there's an event every 7 weeks, international.
So, like, what does a top guy make to win a tournament now?
You know, it's tricky when we talk about money, but you will make, like, if you're a top arm wrestler now, you definitely don't need a side job. You definitely don't, and you're probably definitely making a healthy six figures. You know, definitely. So yeah, so East versus West kind of raised the level. After COVID, it's not the same sport. It's not. Like, the champions now, like, it's tough. It's tough to win a way harder to win a world title now than it was 10 or 15, 20 years ago. Yeah. Now we have Levon.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there any drug testing?
At East versus West, there's not. Okay, so it's F1. You know, everything goes. But
What does F1 mean?
you know, like IndyCar.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's got the same car.
Right.
F1, like
Okay.
innovation.
Right.
Innovation. WAF, government funded, that has testing.
What is WAF?
Sorry, World Arm Wrestling Federation.
Okay.
So, World Arm Wrestling Federation is kind of like the base of the sport. Okay, it's a world level, so every country kind of plugs into it. They have state or provincial, then they have national, they have like Europeans or North Americans, and then they have a world championships annually, different part of the world every year. That's tested.
It's such a universal thing. Like, I remember arm wrestling kids in high school.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows how to arm wrestle. It's always been around. It's always been a thing. So it's really interesting to think that it's becoming more popular now than ever.
It is. It's wonderful. I love the sport. I think that it's a great sport because of its safety, its longevity, its simplicity. Yeah, beautiful sport.
But there's a lot of aspects to it. It's simple, but you're still learning.
It is.
So it can't be that simple.
Like anything, you know, the more you dive into something, the more it opens.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the level that I'm at now, you know, I continue to learn subtleties on a technical level, but it overflows more now into more vague and kind of like lifestyle principles. And I feel like that's how I get my big gains now is, you know, is the way I live my life. Like, the sport, you know, kind of cleans up my whole life. Yeah.
Because you want to perform well.
That's it.
And so you're just so dedicated that, like, you're on top of your nutrition, your sleep, everything.
Everything. Yeah. Yeah. Somewhere between a balance between chaos and order, perfect performance is found. Yeah. Yeah.
The balance between chaos and order is interesting because you kind of, to become great, you kind of have to have some chaos.
It's so essential.
Yeah.
Chaos is a huge part.
Talk to me about that. What is that?
This is, I love this one. This is so good. this is one of my latest learning points that I've taken into account. And it's massively affected my planning, the way I plan events. So I have met many people in my life, and I've met probably in my entire life, probably like 2 people who I would consider completely pure, like basically like a Jesus Christ kind of person, like no sin, okay? But, and on the other side, I've met only like a couple people who I thought were genuinely pure evil. But I think most people are somewhere in the middle, okay? And they need that balance in their life, And I think that you need to, if you're talking about performance on a single date, this balance of what you are needs to be structured. So I think that actually in the fight, like when you're actually fighting, a lot of people, I think, perform best in chaos, okay? So when you get into the stage, you have to be completely wild, no rules, like you need to be completely unhinged. But leading up to it, you need to structure. You need to really become very ordered. And the more you can bring order into your life, the better. I went to a presentation by this guy Mac. Okay, he's a geneticist as well, and he was talking about how life only exists in this balance between chaos and order, and from that, I brought that into my training by making sticker charts. So when I was young, my mom used to motivate me through sticker charts. So when I did a good job, she'd give me a sticker, and I loved it. So I have brought this concept into my training where there's only 2 stickers. There's a blue sticker, which is you didn't quite make it. It's representative of chaos, and a white sticker, which is representative of order. And after I compete, I purposefully move into chaos. And it's not as though like, oh, I'm in chaos and I let everything catch on fire. I don't need structure. I can go wherever, I can learn new things, I can try new things, I can open up my mind to whatever I want. Nothing's required. But really, I'm trying to gather data, put together a plan so that when I move into structure, I have a new kind of plan.
So how do you structure that? Like when you say you move into chaos, like you allow yourself to not have a plan.
Yeah.
Like so this is obviously very planned.
Yes. Yeah. So I will move from my life is structured that it's in blocks. Okay. So I move from major event to major event. I am now at the very beginning of probably the longest block that I've ever had in my life. I'm going to face that guy, Levon, in like 16 months. It's forever. It's an eternity, So I am now in this period when I can travel. I can be more open. In a way, it helps get me there. I am trying to come up with what I think is the perfect blend so that when I lock into my basement, I'm being super accurate. But I do believe that if you just try and be good every day, if you try and live a certain way every day, it creeps into your life. I need like a finish line, okay? Like if I know I only have to be like this for 4 months or 5 months, I can make it. If I'm like, I have to be like this for my whole life, everything creeps in, it falls apart. But it's an aid for me psychologically to remain disciplined. And it's a way for me to fit chaos into my life where it satisfies me as a human being and I get to have fun and I get to go outside of my box. But that's the hardest thing to be a world champion at 51 is to put all your energy into something so simple. This is the most difficult piece, is the psychological dedication to do 10 hours of wrist curls in a day. This is the difficult
You do
piece.
10 hours of wrist curls
Dude,
in a day.
I do. I'll get up in the morning and my wife Jody will help me. Okay, we'll have food and I'm doing like, and that's the thing. So right now I'm coming up with the formula for the next one, but I was doing 7 times 2, because I was doing right and left. I'm going back to pumpkin training, which is right hand only.
Why do you call that pumpkin training?
You know about growing giant pumpkins?
No.
You know those? You ever seen those fairs where they have like a 800 pound, right?
Yeah.
So what that teaches is if you want to have a giant pumpkin, you pinch off all the flowers on the vine except for one.
Oh.
Yeah, my giant pumpkin. Yeah. So I try and put everything into the right. I try and put all, and this is specialization. So I've done this project I did it for like 6 years before.
So when you're saying you put everything in the right, you mean you don't do wrist curls or anything with your left hand?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Now.
And is this a energy resource allocation thing?
Yes. Yeah. It's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between your right and your left?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So you see, and I came up with this theory, a little bit because of just nature, okay? And I see how nature works. And,
yeah, you have one gigantic
is this one bit
forearm.
bigger?
Look at the size of the difference. Put those up.
It's a bit bigger.
It's twice as big.
Okay, and I was balanced. Okay, I was equal. I was left-hand world champion also. Okay, but as I've aged, I'm like, how can I remain at the top of the sport? I'm gonna have to cut things.
But why does training your left arm take away from your right arm?
I think we only have so much energy. I think there's like a finite amount of energy that we have. And if I tell my body that my energy goes here, more of it will go there and more development will happen. I don't think it's like I have this limitless amount of energy where I can be like a proportionate bodybuilder and be a world champion. I think that to be at the very top, you need to be very specialized and very focused. That's what I believe. This comes like a lot of people criticize me for this. Okay, I get heaps of criticism, and I'm very well aware of it. And I think that if you were to,
can I stop you there?
Yeah, yes.
When you say heaps of criticism, by who, and is it valid?
I don't think it's valid.
So
okay?
Who's criticizing you?
I think that most of the criticism comes from more junior players. Okay, I think that most senior arm wrestlers, most guys who are like on my level, they understand it, and to a certain degree, we all do it. Okay, I'm just an extreme example, but a lot of guys do it. Okay, a lot of guys do this in the sport. There's a couple things that lead me to this. Okay, the pumpkin is just a fun metaphor. Okay, but when you get hurt in the one side, I think that a lot of people notice that somehow there's this amazing compensation that happens. Another thing is we have freaks in the sport. We attract some real weirdos. Okay, a guy called Oleg Zok or Matthias Schlitti. Okay, and these are hellboys, real life hellboys. Okay, so they have like one arm that is crazy jacked.
I've seen this one cat. He's a small dude.
Yeah.
And he has one arm that's like a leg.
Yeah.
What is his name?
Probably Oleg. It's Oleg or Matthias. They're our best examples. Oleg is better. Like Oleg's a world champion.
What's his last name?
Zok.
What a great name.
Oh, he's so cool.
What a great name.
Yeah, and see,
that's the dude.
Yeah.
That's the dude.
And I've fought him.
Look at the size of his fucking left arm.
Right?
That is insanity.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I actually pulled this guy at the UAL many years ago, and he was like 165 pounds. And I was the current world champion, and the kid almost beat me. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah.
Left-handed.
Left-handed, yeah.
Jesus Christ, his arm is insane.
Isn't that awesome?
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
He has the arm of a 300-pound man.
Dude, at 170 pounds, he was almost not even the world champion in his division. He was almost the world champion in the open. Okay?
God, look at his left arm, and it's crazy.
And what's extra crazy about it is the insertion points. It's not just that he's hypertrophied and blown up. Like the insertion points are different. He's like the angles of his musculature, the development, like it's wild.
And how is that genetic? Is that built?
He was born like that to a certain degree.
But his right arm looks normal.
Normal.
So how is it so different on his left arm?
So it's my theory, okay, that he has a bit of a blood flow disorder. Okay, I believe that, so the arterial spread in the body, for most of us, is all the same. We have like an even distribution across our body. But I believe that his arterial spread is different. I think he's got a heavy arterial flow to one side.
This is just your own personal theory?
I've heard, I talked to Matthias. Matthias is another guy with this disorder. He was the one who kind of led me to believe that this is what was going on with him. And so this made me believe that there was so much value in blood flow alone when it comes to the expression of what you are. Like, I think anything that just gets more blood flow enhances. Yeah, the expression of the human being is largely determined by the circulation that the genetic, piece receives. And I think with guys like this, it happened like in utero.
That is that left arm is fucking crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And he got in a vicious car crash, a horrible one, almost killed him. And he rehabbed, and once again he's the world champ again in the 85 kilo division, completely. And he should be dead, like he broke everything, like super trauma, and he's still the best.
They just pieced it back together again.
Yeah, pieced him back together, and he's still the man.
Wow.
But what he taught me, and what other people taught me, is the value, and I believe it's all theories, okay? I could be wrong on everything, but I think that it's the blood flow that really, it heals, it strengthens. And a lot of the thing is the heart isn't strong enough to feed all the structures, and that's where movement comes in. So that's why I train this way, increase circulation. Yeah.
Wow. So... But I still don't understand, like, clearly he's working that one arm more than he's working the left arm. Or, excuse me, the right arm.
Yeah, I think to a certain degree. But because of the way he was, this is Matthias, right?
Same deal.
Yeah, and he's like German national champion kind of level. Yeah, and like it's hard to compete with.
Right, but how much of that is just work with the right side over and over and over again, and how much of it is, you think, a genetic component?
With these guys, it's a lot of genetic.
Really?
Yeah, with them. But I believe the reason why it's expressing that way is because of an arterial spread. Okay, and talking to Matthias, he's the one that led me to believe that initially.
Is that arterial spread influenced by work? Like, does it change the expression of the arteries in the muscles?
I think you can influence blood flow, for sure. Like, I think if you are repeatedly working one region very heavily, your circulatory system is going to adapt. Like, my endurance capabilities on my right and my left are completely different. And that's from years of doing this. And so I have to think that it's not just a cellular thing. It's got to be the blood flow. It's got to be everything that is adapted over years. Yeah, and look, I really care about being the best, and all the information that I have makes me, I'm doing it again. Like, I laid off it for a couple of years, but I've started to do it again as I do my final prep one more time.
When you say do it again, what are you doing differently?
I'll go back to, so my work capacity, work amount that I'm doing between my right and left arm, sometimes it's equal. Sometimes is what I do with the right is what I do with the left. Sometimes when I go to the club, I'll do right arm, I'll do left arm. And now I've just swung it back. So I go to the club and I'm basically arm wrestling everybody I can right hand until people are kind of bored, and then I'll do some left hand work. But the right is the priority. And the same thing when I do my homework in the basement, I'm doing like 85 to 90% work on the right and maybe like just 10%, like just for timing and whatever on the left. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Super specialized. Yeah.
Yeah. It's insane.
I was so worried like that I was going to develop like back issues, imbalance issues.
Yeah.
None of that ever happened.
Huh.
Yeah.
Guys do that from archery. They develop imbalance issues just from pulling a bow one-sided. Like my friend Evan, he got a left-handed bow just so he could practice left-handed as well because he felt like it would balance him out.
Right. I think balance is overrated.
Really?
Yeah. I think balance is a nice concept for like some imaginary world that you live in. But if I live in a world where I'm trying to win a world title right-handed, then I need to let my body know that this is what I'm getting ready for and not confuse it.
There's an interesting comparison in jiu-jitsu because there's a lot of guys that have like a very strong right side attack. Yeah. Like Eddie Bravo, for instance. Eddie Bravo's attack is almost always on the right side of the body. Obviously, he has a black belt level attack on the left, but his right side attack is where he puts all his energy to. And his philosophy was along those same lines. If you just develop this one side, like so lethal.
Yeah. I think that so much is about, being able to have an icebreaker, something that stops a match or wins you the match. And at a world level, it's everything. Like if you can bring something from a 99 to 100, but it takes 15 points off your left, that's a trade that a lot of people are willing to make. If I can do anything to push my right a level up, if it makes me, wither away in my left, good trade.
One of the things that I watched that I thought was really interesting, I've been watching a lot of these rock climbers and their ridiculous grip strength.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys. There's that cat that has a YouTube channel. I know you've been on it, Magnus. Magnus, how do you say his last name? Mitbo. And he had that one dude who's just a super freak.
Yves Gravel.
Yes.
He trains with me.
Okay. That guy went right into arm wrestling and was fucking people up.
Right away.
Which is crazy. Which makes me think that maybe that kind of specialized training is like a cheat code.
It's close. Yeah.
Because that guy also has like enormous leg-sized forearms.
Yves Gravel.
So you can find him training with Magnus because they're in Yves' basement where he does all of his training. And he's doing these, like, how many millimeters is the
like
holds?
2.
Okay. So he's doing 2 millimeter holds with his fingers where he's hanging.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it makes no sense.
He's such a freak.
It makes zero sense. Like Magnus is super stud, okay? Magnus is like world level climber. Yves, when it comes to the strength component of climbing, it doesn't even make strength. I don't even understand how anybody could even do it. Like it's like credit card. Mm-hmm. He can do pull-ups off of a credit card.
That's insane.
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. I don't know how he does it. It doesn't, and like he has like rounded surfaces where there is nothing to bite on. Right there. There's nothing.
So he's just chalking up his fingers and he hangs off of those? I want to see that.
There's nothing there. I don't know how he does it. There's nothing to bite. There's nothing. And he's pulling up off. I can't even understand how he does it. So he came into arm wrestling, and he's like 150 pounds.
But it's 40 pounds of it is forearms.
So we have a tournament in Ottawa where we both live. It's called the Ottawa Open, and it attracts the strongest dudes in the region. To win the Ottawa Open is really tough. He won it his first year after arm wrestling six weeks.
What?
Yeah. He's complete.
Crazy.
No,
he weighs what? 160?
Like 150 pounds.
Oh my God.
No, Yves Gravel is a complete weirdo. I've never in my life met somebody who can do the stuff with grip that he can do.
And it's all that training that he's doing. He's doing all this insane grip training.
Yeah.
Which makes me think, like, what if you did that stuff?
Yeah. Yes. Let me tell you, as good as Yves is now, he's going to get even better. Okay?
I can only imagine.
Yeah. Nobody is touching Yves' fingers. But like I talked about earlier, so if you kind of relate it to climbing, okay.
Can you show me some stuff with that guy doing things?
Well, I was trying to find that one.
But just show me some of the other freakish things he does, because he could pick up things from the ground that nobody could pick up.
Yeah, he does grip competition too. So that's another world that's closely tied to arm wrestling is the grip championships, right? Where it's like powerlifting for grip.
Right.
Yeah, and he's the best at that too. Yeah.
It's just nuts, man.
Yeah, it's really nuts. Yeah. So there is a high degree of crossover, right? There is. But there are slight intricacies. Like a kind of way to think about it in climbing, if you have a great grip, you are able to climb the wall. Okay? But in actual arm wrestling, you actually don't want to be the climber. You want to be the wall. Right?
Right.
You want to make it hard for the other person's grip. You don't necessarily... He's capable of climbing any wall. Okay, but once he figures out how to be the wall instead, he's going to be so difficult. It's fun to work with him. Our club in Ottawa, we have like super freaks now. We have all these new guys with ridiculous potential. We got a guy come in who's bigger than Brian Shaw.
Did you ask this? Can you show me some video of this guy?
He wasn't doing anything there. He was just like explaining
There's a bunch,
deadlifts.
right?
And I'm on not his channel too. I'm like it's bouncing back in between. His
So here
channel
he's
that he's
doing fat grip, one arm chin ups.
Did you see the Thomas Inch? You know, see the Thomas Inch on the left?
Yes.
Right. Nobody picks up the Thomas Inch when they're 150. You know,
that's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like this kind of grip is just insane. Oh my God, that's crazy. He's pinch gripping.
Yeah.
And that guy Magnus is strong as shit too. Like I saw a video of him training with Eddie Hall.
Crazy strong.
And he's doing these one-arm rows with like 180 pounds on each side. And I'm like, that is bananas because he's not a big guy.
No, but he's ridiculously strong as well. And
even him, he's dwarfed by this guy's strength.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, Yves is considered the strongest climber in the world.
And did you ask him when he started this and how he got that strong?
I've talked to Yves a lot about his training. He's so detailed. Like the way he trains is very interesting, very progressive, very science-based.
Look at those forearms. That's bonkers.
Yeah. Yeah, Yves is and he's an artist too. He makes masks.
Masks?
Yeah, you know, like movie masks. Like,
oh wow!
Yeah, that's his main job. He makes masks and he can climb anything. Yeah, he's a super cool guy. Yeah.
Wow. Well, so seeing that though makes me think of a guy is that small and he has that kind of grip strength. That has to be a massive factor.
It is.
In your ability to arm wrestle. So why wouldn't everybody do that? If a guy is 150 pounds that he could do that shit, and he's doing it with two arms. I mean, both of his arms are super jacked.
There are levels of specialization.
Right. Do you think it's maybe too late for you to do what he's doing because he's been doing this for decades and decades?
I believe that he is so good at all his grip work, and his grip work is so high, and it does have a lot of crossover. It does. Would I want that strength? Yes, of course. I just think that the motions that I'm doing are actually even more dangerous for the sport of arm wrestling. Like, if I was to advise Yves, and I do, I talk to Yves like every week. I tell Yves, you know, the way he's going to progress his game is by probably doing these more precise movements to become the wall, you know, to become the thing that's hard to hold on to.
Right.
He has an amazing ability to hold on to anybody, okay? And that's going to take him really, really far in the sport. But I think that as Yves, I've told him, he's older in terms of entry, but he has world championship potential. You know, he's less than a year in the sport.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been arm wrestling since like last November. Yeah, give him like a year or 2 or 3, and he's going to be knocking on the North American top pro level.
Wow.
Yeah, it won't take him long. Yeah, he's a freak for one, and he's super smart. And arm wrestling is a very nice crossover for climbers because so many of the strengths are similar, really similar.
And when you say, so he's very scientific about his training, like what does he do?
The thing that struck me when I spoke to him about his training is he kind of does testing. I found that very, very different from the way I train. So before he does his workout, he does these tests like with his grip, and he like says how easy or hard they are. And if he's not feeling right, he won't do the training. So he'll continue to rest. He'll abort a training session because it doesn't feel right.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm doing it no matter.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, look at whatever I've seen it. It's very detailed. It's.
And where did he learn this from?
I think he's crazy. He loves armor. He loves climbing, and I think he's just obsessed. And I think he probably digests everything. I think he probably studies everything about climbing and strength, and he just put it all together.
So what is he doing here?
It looks like a static wrist test. Looks like he's measuring it through a weight to see how much in a static capacity he can generate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pushing isometrics for arm wrestling.
Yeah.
So all just wrist curling ability.
Isometric. Yeah, maximum output, which is really the main strength that arm wrestlers need. That locked isometric or even negative strength. And all his squeezing.
Look at that. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's very special.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So that's the thing. He's got all these charts.
And so he's doing this all himself because there's probably no one that could teach him this stuff. Because he's probably at the top of the food chain with this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a gift to have come around. We love that. We love that we've kind of got him because.
I'm sure, because when you get a freak like that, like out of nowhere. What is he doing here?
All right, so he's working his curls and he's adding resistance through the elastic. So you can see this is not a climber exercise, I don't think, anymore. He's really switching, to
arm wrestle.
I think he's got the bug. Yeah.
Wow.
It won't be long. He'll be at East versus West for a 70-kilo world title.
Well, it's such an enormous advantage to have these fucking gigantic forearms and insane strength.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird that you could get these guys that are so physically small that are so damn strong. Like when Magnus was doing rows, you're like, where's the force coming from? You have a 150-pound, 160-pound body, and you're doing these 180-pound single-arm rows.
Yeah.
Like, where's the force coming from? Like, is it a tendon strength? Where's the tissue, right? Like, you look at Eddie Hall, you're like, okay, that makes sense that guy could lift that much weight. He's massive.
Yeah.
This guy's not massive.
Right.
If you saw him in a T-shirt, you wouldn't even, unless you looked at his forearms, you wouldn't even think he was strong.
Yeah.
You would say, well, he probably runs or something. Looks like a normal guy that's fit. Yeah. He doesn't look like a guy who can do 180-pound one-arm rows. So what is that? How do you do that? Where's it coming from?
Yeah, I think that arm wrestlers, climbers, a lot of athletes, fighters too, they start to recognize the value of the hand. A lot of guys, in the communities like strongman, powerlifting, other strength disciplines, they get immense strength through their body and through their shoulders and different parts that by the time it goes through the chain, through the elbow, through the wrist, into the fingers, only a small portion of that is able to get managed.
Right. I see that with guys when they work out with straps. I've never used straps.
Right.
Because to me, with jiu-jitsu, grip is so important. I never wanted to rely only on my muscles and not have a strong grip.
Right.
Like, it didn't make any sense to me.
In so many functional things, the hand is the shortcoming.
Or the feet. Yeah. I talked to Nick Curson once, who's a strength and conditioning trainer, and I said, what do you think is like the number one thing that fighters lack on? He said, foot strength.
Yeah.
I said, foot strength?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, foot strength. He goes, once your foot strength breaks down, everything breaks down. Your movement breaks down, your power breaks down, your ability to get out of the way of things, the ability to close the distance.
Yeah.
There's a score on the grip strength.
What is it? What did he get?
160.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I got more than him.
Yeah, he just did it really hard too.
That's crazy. But that makes sense. I'm 200 pounds, right?
But it's a chain, and grip is a part of the functional hand chain.
Right.
Well,
it's clearly he's way stronger than me with rows.
The interesting thing with grip is only a small part of control. Oh, this guy, what's that guy's name? He's actually the best. Andra, right?
What did he get?
He's actually the best climber in the world right now.
161. Same thing.
Yeah, I saw.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Derek Lewis got 218. Derek Lewis, the guy who fights in the UFC, and he did it casually.
Yeah.
Derek's got giant paws, like catcher's mitt paws.
Yeah.
And he pulled 218. He got higher than anybody, and it didn't even look like he was trying.
The guy I just arm wrestled, I think, had the world record for some time, Vitaly Laletin.
What was that?
I don't know what the number is, but I know he had the world record. Vitaly Laletin. So I'm actually not big on grip. I'm not.
Really?
I'm not. But most people are.
There's a guy that I follow on Instagram. Jamie, pull him up. His name is Michael Eckert, and
351.
boom!
Is that Vitaly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh Oh my God.
So listen. So mine is probably like 70 pounds, but I beat him.
Wait a minute. You don't.
No. It's terrible.
No.
I'm crippled.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm telling you.
There's no way
I'm such a
I
disappointment.
squeeze stronger
Yeah,
than
you
you.
do.
That's not
no,
possible.
you probably do.
That is literally not possible.
I'm telling
Look
you.
at the size of this guy.
Yeah, he's like 6'9". Like he's about 3. Yeah.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
154 kilograms is so bananas.
Yeah.
That's so strong. You can only do 70. That doesn't make any sense.
When I was younger, I could do like 8 or 9 reps of the number 3 Captains of Crush.
Wow.
So I could
have
do
this sucker here on the table.
What is that?
all
Yeah,
the
what-
time. I don't know what this is. You tell me. Squeeze it. Tell me what you
Oh
think that is.
God. 200 pounds. So this isn't a Captain of Crush. This is a.
I think it is. It's not?
No, I bought those. They just have a number on the
Can't
bottom.
do it, Joe. I can't do
can't
it.
do
I can't
that?
do it.
One,
No,
one
no,
and a
no.
half,
I'm-
two,
I'm-
2.5.
I
Look
do
at-
that all day long.
Man, you should come and arm wrestle with us.
No, I could
that
beat
could be
people who
it.
suck.
Grip is interesting. Okay, grip is a part of control, but so much of the control through your hand has to do with the ability to control the angles. You know, can you control this way, this way, this way, this way? You know, can you spin? You know, the grip is like the final inflection point. It's the final piece to add.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that it's not everything. It's a thing that I've been obsessed with lately because I'm not strong at it.
Grip's beautiful.
So this 162 kilograms.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And
so
I
find this
just
guy Michael Eckert on Instagram. He's a guy that I follow, and he has all these grip strength tutorials. He's a Marine, and I guess has a straight. That's him. And he can do 220, and he doesn't look like a very big guy either, but he does like crazy one-arm pull-ups, and he has massive forearms. But like, look at his thing right there.
This thing? I don't see the.
There's a thing below it. You see numbers. There it is. Oh, so this is what he's lifting. He's doing this for chin-ups. But he has the grip strength thing. The really good one is the one that has knurled metal. It has very little play in it, and so you get a real accurate. He said it's the most accurate one of all of them. Gold, that one right there. See what it says 119? So I think that's 119 kilograms.
hand is
So what did he
beautiful.
get?
Yeah.
What is that? 262. So he could do 262, and he's not a very big guy. So he does 100 pounds more than me, and he's not a big guy.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're looking at him, but he does crazy like chin up stuff. 256. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So it's Michael Eckert, Ellicart.
Yeah.
No, Eckert.
it's Michael, yeah.
Eckert. Eckert. So it's Michael Eckert _fit on Instagram. And this guy's turned me on to a bunch of stuff, told me stuff to get and what to work out with. But I'm blown away because I look at him and I go, well, you're not that big. That's what's crazy. Like you look at his forearms are obviously very big, and very strong, but he's not like this massive guy. Like who's that giant Russian cat? That
Smaev.
Yeah. Boy. That fella.
He's something real
that
special.
If that guy pulled 262, I go, okay, that makes sense. But I look at Michael and I'm like, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he does so much grip stuff.
Yeah, we're praying for Smaev to come into the sport.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That guy's a fucking freak.
Freakiest. Not just freak, freaky-est.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is he alive? Like, you got to think there's not a lot of time on that hourglass.
Live hard, die fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's pushing. There he is.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, all these strengths for our sport, they all add together. And,
Just like his hands. Look at his fucking hands. They don't even look real.
Oh, he's
And open about all the sauce that he's on. He's on everything. I mean, who was in here that was explaining how much growth hormone he takes?
I heard he debunked that.
Oh, really?
I saw a video where he said it wasn't true. But I have no idea.
That he wasn't taking that much.
Yeah, I mean,
Someone was saying he was taking
over
like
100 or something.
some crazy thing, like 10 units of growth a day.
No, I heard it was 100.
100 units?
Yeah, I heard it was like. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't even make
Right.
That seems like you would just grow. You would just become a giant. Like that's like a pituitary disorder, right?
Yeah, more than.
Right, because that's what you're getting.
It's a lot.
Well, clearly he's done a bunch of stuff, though. I mean, if you see him when he was younger, he looked like a normal athlete.
I never saw him normal. I mean, I've been following him for probably like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the first time I saw him, he was doing chin-ups with like 250 pounds strapped to him. You know, I think that's the first time I saw him. He's not normal.
Yeah, look at his fucking size. Yeah. So it's the left size. What's the left? When he's 17?
Yeah, I mean, he was. Look, that's not a normal 17-year-old.
No, clearly.
Yeah,
he's pretty jacked. But that makes sense. Like that guy on the left makes sense. Like I've seen guys like that before.
Yeah,
that's
but
a
not
real
at
guy.
17.
No, but go to that photo again. But the guy on the right, he looks like the Incredible Hulk. Like he looks like a superhero. Like it doesn't look like a real human being. Like the size of his forearms, the size of his biceps, that doesn't look like a regular human being. It looks like a complete freak of nature or science.
And he's training for arm wrestling.
I could only imagine.
So he's like, if you follow his Insta or whatever, he's doing the arm wrestling lifts, like the pronation, and his lifting is already at a level of like world
Go to
champion.
his Instagram, please.
It's his Instagram got taken down, so it's like some new.
What?
Yeah,
That's right. He didn't have it when I just looked last.
Why did it get taken down?
I don't know. But I heard it was taken down. But he does have a new one, whether it's his or it's a fan one. I know. I just saw it yesterday.
Why would they take down his Instagram?
Yeah, the only one I could find is
I
this.
don't know.
It's like Smayev official, and it's 27 weeks ago. There was a tag, and that's all there.
But no, there. I know because I saw it like yesterday.
Oh, so it's gone. The page is gone.
There's some fan page where he's doing pronation lifts.
What the fuck? What is wrong? Why would they take this guy's Instagram down?
Because he's inspiring people to turn into monsters.
Do you think that's what it is?
I don't know. I don't know. There, this is what I'm talking about. See, now this is a much more normal, like for arm wrestling, this is actually more functional than anything through the grip, I think.
So this is all pronation.
That's pronation.
Turning the wrist, lifting insane weight.
Yeah. And just based off of that information that I see there, I already know.
Click on that one that you got your, yeah. The fucking size of this guy.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. Explosive jumps.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about him is he's not competing in anything.
Right.
But I think that this is a guy who's just going to show up, whether it's in anything. He gets to pick. And he's probably going to show up at like a world level.
Like anything like what? Besides
I'd say anything, whether powerlifting,
right,
strongman. I'd be terrified if he even got to like blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
Oh my God.
You know? Like, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? How much does he weigh?
I think like 340, 350.
340 and preposterous strength. Like,
yeah.
Strength, you know, Mark Coleman always used to say that strength is a skill. And there's something to that, because if you are that strong, there's only so much you could do with that guy's body.
Yeah.
Especially if he developed actual skills, an understanding of leverage, positions.
There you go.
Even just the base movement patterns that are really applicable.
352 lead.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
He was supposed to pull, there was a proposal for him to pull one of our guys called Leonidas Arcona.
What a great name.
Yeah. It's a German guy. He just competed against Brian Shaw like 6 weeks ago. He beat Brian.
What?
Yeah.
Someone beat Brian Shaw in an arm wrestling match?
Leonidas, young German champion. They competed in Germany. It was a great fight.
How big is Leonidas?
Leonidas is pretty awesome. Okay, Leonidas.
This is Leonidas and Brian Shaw.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is crazy.
Yeah. Right, and nobody's got a stronger grip than Brian either. Brian's grip is completely wild. But.
Seeing someone beat Brian Shaw in anything physical seems ridiculous. It doesn't even make sense. How much does this guy weigh?
He's like 285 when he's in good shape, but again, stupid strength. He's like a bodybuilder / arm wrestler. He's not.
A picture of me reacting.
Yeah, he's been in the sport like.
Oh my God, he's gonna curl a dude.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy strength.
Oh my God, he's massive.
Massive.
I just can't believe that he beat Brian Shaw. That is nuts.
And that's where skill comes in.
Well, because Brian Shaw is 100 pounds heavier than him.
Yeah, but it's levels, you know? Like
right.
And that's the thing, like arm wrestling has enough technique to it. It's not just how strong you are. You can look at me, okay? I'm not on any of these guys' levels. They're all stronger than me. but I'm the number 2 in the world in the open division. Everybody in the top 50 is stronger than me, you know? But there's a high degree. That's a great picture.
Wow. That is crazy. The size difference is so massive.
But I'll tell you, Brian probably has a higher potential than Leonidas.
Right.
Brian's been arm wrestling less than 2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And Leonidas been arm wrestling
About 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of technique to it.
There's a ton of technique.
And a lot of just repetition, understanding the positions, where to go, what to do, how to hold. Yeah.
Miniature martial art.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that are not that, like Marcelo Garcia, for instance, not a physically imposing guy, has the craziest squeeze.
Right.
Like there's something about a squeeze. Like learning a position over and over and over again, fine-tuning it. That's what's interesting about power in general. It's like the repetition of movement creates more power.
Yeah.
And some of it is genetic, but some of it is also just fine-tuning that motion to just this like perfect chain of energy from the floor to the strike.
And it's 2 of us, you know, and it's that interaction.
Right.
It's what you're doing, what I'm doing.
And the more you're doing it, the more you understand what to do and when to do it and what's happening and how to counter it and when to push and when to pull, when to hit the gas.
And somebody's leading the dance and someone's following.
Right.
And the efficiency just changes very quickly. And before you know it, you're gassed out.
I'm sure you're aware of that guy in Australia, Tom Haviland.
Tom Haviland. Yeah.
That's
He's
another one.
He's another one.
That's another one.
Right.
Who's doing this stuff in his backyard
Right.
with a fucking shirt on and jeans and work boots.
Yeah.
And all the images, most of them, are just his back.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's just
he's another one. He's another one of these strength giants that lives out there that everybody kind of wants to pull in. I message Tom every once in a while.
Look
and
at
I'm
this guy.
Like, dude, when are you coming in arm wrestling? When are you coming in?
And what did he say?
Yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic.
What, is he interested?
I think so.
Well, he's also crazy lean too, which is really weird.
He's a strange character.
Oh, the strangest, because like this is most of his images are his back,
Yeah.
which I don't understand why he's doing that.
Well, I had the theory that he was an SF guy. You know, I had the theory that he belongs to some organization that requires him to be discreet.
But there are photos of him.
Yeah, not many.
There's plenty where you could see his face.
Yes, but he doesn't go around broadcasting it too much, does he? I don't know. Look, I don't know what he is. I've asked, and guys say he's not. I don't know what the deal is. But for whatever reason, and he could, right? This is a guy who could probably, again, go to any one of the strength disciplines and compete happily.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he's almost 400 pounds. He's 6'8".
Yeah.
And fucking shredded. See if you can find some of the images. There are images on this page of him with his shirt off doing stuff where he's like walking with, you know, doing like farmer carries. So there's some images of him with his shirt off.
Yeah.
Like there he is.
Yeah. He's a Brian Shaw type. He's a Smaev type. You know, just where the baseline level of strength.
But looks more athletic than those guys. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he's not as massive. He's massive, but he looks massive in a more mobile way. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do, but you know, Brian Shaw won strongman, and like there's a lot of athleticism in strongman.
Oh, for sure. I'm not saying there's not. I mean, but Brian Shaw looks like an ape. He looks like a giant ape, whereas this guy looks like a super athlete.
He does.
You know, he looks like that image of him with his shirt off on the far right. Like he's shredded.
Yeah.
It looks different.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's just working on his strength. He's just like constantly.
Yeah.
Look at his fucking forearm muscles. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on with the top of the forearm where it meets the bicep? What the fuck is that?
Tom, if you're watching this, come to East versus West, buddy. We love you. We love you.
Has he ever done anything?
Yeah.
Any arm wrestling stuff?
Yeah, I know he has because so down in Australia, the president there, Phil Rasmussen, he's good friends with him. And I know that they're arm wrestling a little bit, but yeah, there's something with him where he doesn't want to kind of show up. I don't know what it is with some of these people where they have this amazing ability, but they don't really pop. Do you know who Eric Spotto is?
No.
Eric Spotto's a guy out of Vegas, former number 1 in the world bench guy. Okay, like he broke the world record for bench. Okay, but he didn't go to a powerlifting meet until he could break the record. He didn't even show up. He just showed up and he beat the world record. He was doing the world record in his basement.
Wow.
And everybody's like, Eric, why don't you go and make it legit? But these guys exist out there. These guys in their basements or wherever they're living, and they for whatever reason they don't show up until they're the best. Yeah, Eric. This guy. Yeah, and he's an amazing arm wrestler too. Same theory though, like it was hard to get him into competition, but I personally know that he's like one of the strongest arm wrestlers, but he doesn't compete. Yeah. Yeah, strength's amazing, man. It's fun to chase strength.
It's not everything in your sport though, which is interesting.
Yeah, strength combat. So we're a combat sport that relies heavily on strength. Yeah.
It's interesting you consider it a combat sport.
It's 100% combat sport.
Why so? Because it's not applicable to real fighting. So why do you call it a combat sport?
I mean, real fighting is hard to define anyways. I mean,
is it?
Well, there's levels. There's levels of real fighting. I mean, what we look at, I love UFC. It's cool, but we invented guns long ago.
Of course,
Yeah.
but that's not a sport. I mean, it is a sport in terms of like being able to shoot accurately and stuff like that, but you're using an external device. You're using a weapon.
Right.
With your physical body, combat sports, why would you consider arm wrestling to be a combat sport?
Well, because it's between two people, and there's so much interplay, and there's not the rigidity of a lot of sports that measure strength. Okay, it's very much adjustment, adaptation, decision making, a lot of games, a lot of technique, a lot of adaptation. You can be super strong, but if you can't adapt, if you can't think, if you can't speak, if you can't play,
right?
Yeah, you're gonna.
But in that sense, do you consider football a combat sport?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
There's
right.
there's two sides, and you're fighting.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
metaphor. Okay.
Right.
Look at all this stuff. I love the UFC, but I consider it a combat sport.
Well, it definitely
Yeah.
is a combat sport.
100%, probably one of the best examples of. But
The primary example.
if I was going to put together the ultimate we were going to take out like if we were going to go to war against another nation or whatever, yeah, for sure I'm looking at UFC guys, for sure I'm looking at football guys, looking at whoever can get the job done, and there's a lot of pieces to that.
Well, that's different. I mean, look, if they're going to war with just bodies, only using your body, that's one thing. But, obviously with war,
Yeah.
weapons rule above all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're at these days. So,
Well, now we're with thumbs because now it's basically drones.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're going to get to a point soon where human beings are going to be irrelevant.
So when it comes to sport, arm wrestling for me, it falls into that combat sector, where two people are engaging in a fight, a metaphorical fight against each other.
I get it.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't a combat sport, then the stronger guy would normally win, and he normally does. But as soon as if I could get a guy who's been practicing arm wrestling for like 4 or 5 years, they'll beat anybody that's not practicing. It's the same thing as like a jiu-jitsu guy. If you give a jiu-jitsu guy like 4 or 5 years on the mat, and you get Brian Shaw or like some giant come in, who's going to win?
It really depends. I could teach Brian Shaw a few things real quick.
Of course
and I
you
think
could.
He could strangle pretty much anybody.
And Brian Shaw is an extreme example.
Yeah, but
Okay.
someone your size, yeah, it's like size to size. The size is commensurate. Yeah, the person who's training,
Yeah.
they're going to win every time. And small people dominate big people all the time.
Right. Because it's that technical, it's
Yeah.
that skill base.
It's also repetition, understanding the positions, understanding mistakes, knowing where to be and what to do, how to flow, how to move with someone, so you're not just going strength for strength against them. You're flowing with them.
I think of it as a combat sport as well because I try and make it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely do, and you definitely make it like psychologically.
I try.
Yeah.
I try and pull all that stuff in.
But you have an extensive military experience too. Like you started off like what is the Canadian version of what branch of the military you were in?
I was with a unit called JTF2 for 16 out of my 20 years. Yeah. It was great. I'd still be there if I could, really, but it got too complicated and I had to leave. But
How so? What do you mean?
It was, I don't want to say it was entirely one thing or another, but it really probably had a lot to do with arm wrestling and the visibility of arm wrestling. Like I've been arm wrestling my whole life, but it was 19, I think. Not 19. It was 2014, and we were on ESPN at the time. And up to that point, I was not declared military in the public eye. Like I was a farmer as far as everybody was concerned. I tried to play the operational security as well as I could, and I was an active JTF2 member. But there were a lot of concerns about the growth of arm wrestling for me and my, exposure. And, part of being an operator is, you have to be anonymous. You get on an airplane, you can't have people taking pictures of you. And,
oh, right.
Right. So arm wrestling, because of where I was, and it was on ESPN, and going further, they're like, Devon, you have to choose. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been arm wrestling since I was a kid. So the long and short of that is they offered me a year off, no pay. I took it. I took the year off, and I was gathering apples and eating sardines and sending my kids to school with dried apples, and me and my wife were like, oh my God, are we crazy? Are we crazy?
Just so you try to make it in arm wrestling.
It was complicated. It was complicated.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd done like 7 tours, and it's weird when you do a lot of tours, things start to gray out a little bit. And
so?
Everything is about mission in life, right? Like everything. Like if you don't have a good mission, your life is going to fall to shit. And as soon as you start to question any kind of that, and you play in that realm long enough, most guys start to, at the beginning, you're just either so patriotic or just so down to, help your country or whatever, or the people around you, that you're undeterred. And I think that probably sometime around that point in my career, maybe I was struggling slightly, and that combined with them telling me that I wasn't able to do something that was like the only thing I did, when I left work, was kind of the thing that kind of make me take kind of a stand in my life that I was going to, follow sport instead of war. Sport's beautiful. Sport's very clearly building civilization. And war, the further you go in, it just gets to a level of murk where you're not sure. So, yeah. So
when you say you're not sure if you should be doing what you're doing. You're not sure if the mission should be happening.
Yeah, because I think most people join the military and stay in the military because they genuinely believe that they're benefiting mankind or civilization to some degree. It's a big part of it. Nobody's there for the money, Right. At the beginning, some people are because we're broke, right?
Right.
But once you spend like 10 years, you're probably okay. And so it starts. You play enough in that world, and it starts to get confusing that you're not doing the right thing. So, and look, I loved my work. I thought it was great. I loved all the people I worked with, some of the best people in the world. But yeah, it came to a point where there was some issues, with OPSEC, not even in my career, but in others, and it kind of trickled down into unit policy, and they shut down everybody's extracurricular. And yeah, they're like, Devon, you can't arm wrestle anymore. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm a current world champion.
Wow.
I am currently the open world champion, and you're telling me I can't do it. So I was like, yeah, we're going to have to come up with some other solution. They're like, yeah, okay, years leave without pay. Here's your final offer. So we took it, and my wife and I were like, oh my God. So yeah, so I went from making money, and we didn't have money,
But you were getting by.
Yeah, getting by. But it meant that on that year, I like had to win. It was no longer like my hobby. It was like, if I don't win, like my kids are like not, I'm going to have to sell the house, or like I'm going to have to do a gamble. It worked out. Yeah.
What was that stress like?
Dude, it was so wild.
How old were you at the time?
It was, okay, that was 2014, so I'd be 39.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're already older as an athlete.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was totally trippy. I remember being so stressed out. It was a WAL finals. Okay, I was in the 225-pound division. $20,000 for first place. Right hand, left hand, and I had a great sponsor. Okay, they were matching my pay, so anything I won, they doubled it, and they were doing some other stuff too. So, but if I lost, I got nothing. Ooh. Right. So I'm in the back. I'm in the back in the warm-up area, and I'm breathing. I'm getting ready. I'm going against this guy Ron Bath in the finals, and longtime mentor of mine, guys like my older brother, this guy Mike Gould, comes over to me. He's like, Devon. He's like, you used to run the practice when you were 18. He's like, you're just here because you love it. Don't worry about it. Just go and have fun. And I'm like, okay, you're right. And I went out and I just had fun and worked out. But yeah, so I ended up doing my year's leave without pay. As soon as I was taking my leave, they're like, we want you to declare. Like, we want you to tell people that you're Special Forces now. So I went from
Why'd they want you to do that?
because they pushed me into recruiting. Yeah. So when I got back, I tried again. I think they'd already made up their mind. When I got back, I'm like, yeah, can I have my old job back? And they're like, you're going to keep arm wrestling? And I'm like, well, you know. And they're like, okay, you're going to recruiting. And so at that point, I was on my 19th year, okay? And you only, in the Canadian Forces at that time, now I think you need 25, but 20 years continuous service and you get like a base pension. So I did my 19th to 20th year, I went around Canada and I told people how great the JTF was. And that was it. That was my career. Done. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, now full-time arm wrestler for the last 10 years. Yeah.
What a jump at 39.
Yeah.
That had to be so fucking nerve-wracking.
It was, I just, you know, I thought it was very selfish of me, you know. I thought that I was being very irresponsible. I thought, you know, because I really believed in soldiering, I did. And, you know, to leave it, you know, made me question very much whether I was doing the right thing with my life. And then on a family level, I was like, am I being irresponsible chasing this, you know, thing that I love to do, and it's costing my kids, you know, their university education. It's costing my kids, you know. But yeah, we believed in it. We went for it, and it's all worked out. It's all worked out. I mean, it's been a second life for me. I still love all the guys I work with. Some of them are still working. My God, guys do like 30-year careers in the Special Forces. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, a lot of the guys that I went through with, they're now in senior positions, and I bump into them every once in a while. And I just tell them how much I love them and how great they are. And yeah, I live a simple life now. It's beautiful, you know. Like before, life was very complicated. Going on tours, you know, Special Forces life is super complex. You know, it's difficult to balance. How my wife and I made it through that, I have no idea. But we did. But yeah, now I'm at home every day. I wake up unless I'm on, you know, going to some arm wrestling tournament. It's beautiful.
Well, I got to think that the discipline that came from that life transferred over to the discipline of becoming a great arm wrestler.
I think I'm still learning today from my career. I'm still digesting some of the greatest days and some of the stuff that I did. I'm still integrating it into my life. Yeah. It's a great teacher.
Well, you can't fail.
No, you can't.
It's just like the ultimate consequences, the ultimate stakes.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I love the concept of soldiering. I think I have it as one of the highest things that you can do. Like, there's being a mother and there's being a fighter, you know? And I personally have always believed that one of the highest orders of fighters are the guys in the military. You know, the SF guys.
Sure.
Like, it's pretty awesome. But yeah, it's. I try and take all those lessons and bring them into the sport, and I try to. I try and let that chapter of my life, you know, feed and inspire me today.
Do you talk much about your tours?
I don't a lot. It's not that you know, anything matters at this point. I mean, it's all in the past, and you know, there's nothing that I could really say now that influences too much. But yeah, I don't make it part of my general promotion too much. But everybody knows that I was, you know. It's a wild time in my life, you know. It's a huge chapter, you know, the military stuff, the tours that I did. You know, we did a lot of work in Afghanistan. So, you know, the highlight of my career is working in Kandahar, you know, working with the American forces, working with the Indige forces. You know, JTF does like counterterrorism, so we're doing hits at night, you know, going out and various kinds, but. Yeah, it was always funny to me. Because people didn't know I was, you know, widely. And be like, oh, Devon's scared to come to this tournament, you know. And I was like, motherfucker, I am in a goddamn war right now. Like, I am not scared to go to Nemiroff Cup, you know. But yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, it was.
That
good.
must have been hilarious.
It was so funny for me. I'm like, you have no idea how scared I am right now. What I'm doing, you know. War is a wild thing, you know. The degree that it's psychologically affected me is it's been neat, you know. I think that a lot of who I am was shaped by combat, you know, by the fear and the lacking that I had, like the not being enough to be everything I could be in combat, shaped me so much, you know. You know, when you go on a tour, and there's different people, there's different dudes, okay? I know some dudes who really don't get scared. They really don't. Like, they're like so down for it. Like, they can't wait to go on the next mission, you know? And I was kind of the guy who was like completely scared shitless, but I'd go anyways, you know? And what I kind of learned to do, which I have a great value in, is kind of the separation of myself. You know, I am a very different person day to day than when I compete or when I, for example, went and actually did the job. You know, I would completely transform my character. And this is something that I learned. The first tour was hard. You know, you're a regular dude with a regular brain and a regular mindset doing this terrifying thing. And then, you know, you come back and you know, you've seen a lot of shit and you got PTSD, you wake up and your heart's going, and it's like an injury. And you can let an injury kill you, or you can heal and develop some kind of resilience to it. And I think that I, to some degree, did that by learning how to become a different person. People call it a switch, you know, where you like all your values, the person that you are is different. You're not the same person when you're out in the field than you are when you're back on base. And I created a persona that loved it, that looked forward to it, that lusted for it. Because that's what you need to be to actually perform properly.
When you say you created a persona,
yeah,
what was the steps? Like, how did you do that?
Well, I think that one of the things is to really wrap your mind. I think the first step is to wrap your mind about the worst possible outcomes with any fear. And I don't know if a psychologist is going to tell you to do this, but like, for example, like I'll take it a step back and we'll talk about jumping, okay? I don't like to jump at airplanes, okay? Didn't really, you know, it's kind of scary. So I had a certain fear there, okay? Now I got over it. I've got hundreds of jumps. But what I did was I used to watch parachute fails over and over and over and over and over. And I just kind of desensitized myself to it and kind of became okay with it. And I think to a certain degree, I did the same thing with the overall concept of worst case scenario with the war. You know, kind of accepted that I'm going to die. It's okay. I believe in the cause, believe in the mission. It's okay. So now I have to solve how do I get to the best performance state to do that? And you have to love what you do. You got to love what you do. So you have to find a way to love the violence. You have to find a way to love the aggression. You have to find a way to, and I think it's inside all of us. I think that the person that you are is, you know, who you've kind of created for a certain circumstance. But the truth is you might act a little bit different when you're sitting at the table with your mother than when you're sitting at the table with your best friend to when you're going out and doing a hit on the front lines, you know? And it's a different psychology that's going to perform best, you know, in each of those. And it's learning that you are not necessarily one thing. You are whatever you want to be, you know, and you can change that. You can become that. And the more time that you spend as that role, the more you roll it out, the more you build it out, the more you're comfortable with it, the more you might even look forward to doing it again, you know. I certainly rolled that psychology into my arm wrestling.
What's interesting, you say, I don't know if a psychologist would tell you to do that. I don't think a psychologist would have the ability to understand what that experience even is. There's one thing about theory and about books and about learning in school. There's a giant difference between that and application in a real world scenario where you might lose your life and you have to take a life. I don't think there's a psychologist in the world that could explain that. That's why I'm always very hesitant about even sports psychologists or fight psychologists that like teach people how to prepare for fight. I'm like, you could probably give a fighter some tools, but for you to actually tell them what needs to be done, if you're not doing that, how can you? It's just theory.
Theory.
Yeah, and there's a giant difference between theory and application, where you are trying to keep your fucking brain together in the craziest thing a human being can do.
Yeah.
Parachute down and gun people down. Like what is fucking crazier on earth than that? I say nothing.
Well, look, I used to have that attitude as well, but I've changed my attitude when it comes to that. I think that it's about excellence and mastery. I think that that's what life is about. And if you're in the soldiering realm, that's excellence and mastery in that field. But I think wherever you are, if you're a businessman, if you're an artist, if you're a farmer, there's levels. You know, you can be a farmer that, you know, has weeds and, you know, kind of, you know, doesn't get up at the crack of dawn or whatever. And then you can be a completely psychotic farmer that does. And I think that you're on that level.
Yeah.
You're on that level of mastery. And I think that is what life is really about, is finding that thing that you're comfortable doing and becoming a master at it.
Yeah.
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 And now I am the Bonnie Blue of arm wrestling. Come on, come on. I get the first base with everybody.
I got to ask you about this, and this is a silly thing to ask you because you said Kandahar.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the legend of the
Yes.
Kandahar giant?
Of course.
Yeah. What did you hear? When did you hear?
Well, I've seen. Okay. There's some freaks out there, man. There's some freaks. So yeah, I mean, I've seen the YouTube video. I've heard about it from other people, but legit, okay? Hard for me because I was far away, okay? I was probably about 200 meters away. We were doing a mobility exercise, okay? Mobility, I hate mobility. Okay, mobility was my least favorite op. Mobility, basically, you get in a bunch of trucks and you kind of roll out and you kind of look for a fight, okay? So we were doing like a 2-week mobility in this region, kind of north of the Panjway. I don't remember exactly what it was called. It was this, surrounded by mountains, this big valley. And we were rolling around and so there was a village that we were going to check out. And I'm like a gunner, okay? So I don't know everything that's going on. I'm a dude on a machine gun. Okay, but I can see everything that's happening. I kind of know what we're doing. But I know that there's a meeting. And what they have is they have these warlords. It's not the same kind of political system or anything that we have in like North America. Kind of the baddest dude in the region becomes in charge. Okay. So we were meeting with one of the local warlords. And so the town was like 500 meters away. They drove out from the town about 500 meters, and we had our trucks about 200 meters from the meeting point. Our officer and a couple dudes went forward, and we're looking. This guy, I mean, he was maybe twice as big. He was huge. He was a massive dude.
Like how big?
I think he was 8 feet. I think he was 8 foot something. And it's embarrassing. It's like, Devon, you're crazy? And he's big.
And he was 200 meters away.
He's about 200 meters away, but I can see the guys. We got optics. Our officer was probably somewhere between at the bottom of his chest. Great big Afghan dude, big beard, big dude. And his lackeys around him were normal size. Great big warlord. So they're out there. There's big people. There's
8 feet is nuts.
I have personally seen people who were probably over 8 feet.
What?
Yeah.
In Afghanistan?
No. I saw these guys up northern Canada, Cree. I was up in Ojibugamo, okay, this Cree village. I remember walking up. I'm there for arm wrestling. We're having an arm wrestling tournament, and I'm looking up. We're walking up the stairs in this hockey arena, and this dude, I'm like, that's a really big dude. And by the time I got there, I was about, and I'm like 6'5", I was about at his nipple. Okay.
What?
Yeah, big hands, big long hands, like out of the Goonies, like misshapen face. And I'm like, my God. I'm like, how big are you? He's like, just laughed at me, and he's like, he's like, my dad's 8'11". He's like,
what?
Yeah, big.
My dad's 8'11".
I'll tell you, there's big people, and people don't know about them. Guinness doesn't know about them. They live up in the woods. There's big people out there, and not all of them.
What is that guy, Jamie?
From that region, apparently. I don't know how to say that. Edouard Beaupre.
So there's just giants that live in that
8'3".
region?
Yeah.
8'3".
The Cree are very big people. And the thing is when they get to eat what they're supposed to eat, the problem is so many of them eat junk now, right? Because they grow up on the...
367 pounds, maybe? Or 367, sorry.
They
8
grow
foot
up,
2.5, 367 pounds, age 33. Whoa.
yeah, I forget the name of these brothers, but there's a bunch of them. Yeah, there's some weird genetics out there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to try and swab them. I'll give it to Ryan before you know it.
But so this guy in Afghanistan, was this one isolated incident?
I
where you
saw one. Yeah, I just saw the one.
And he had to be 8 feet tall.
He is big. He's big. Yeah, he's big human being. Far out of the standard. Yeah, and he was a warlord.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they're big people out there.
And so the Kandahar giant story, the guy is supposed to be even bigger than that.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Do
heard
you
it.
believe it?
I do. Yeah, I do. There's freaks out there. There are.
But this guy supposedly had like 6 fingers and 6 toes.
Yeah. I believe that stuff. I think that we get so used to normal people, and every once in a while there's a weirdo.
And these people are not being studied. There's no one there. Like that region of the country is extremely remote.
Extremely. Like they don't. It's like going back to like the 15th century. Like there's motorcycles and some people have gas. I mean, but they don't have electricity. There's not even really roads. Yeah.
And there was this one guy who was a warlord that was 8 feet tall.
I saw him.
You saw him.
I saw him. Yeah. From a distance. But I mean, there's no way he was any shorter. Like he was huge. He was a massive, and he was broad across the shoulders too. He was probably twice as broad. Massive human. Yeah.
What was that like? Just seeing something like that.
It's wild, man. Yeah, it's neat. Yeah. It was shocking, but it's neat how they structure their leadership. That's the guy in charge.
The most massive guy,
I hope he was a nice guy.
probably wasn't.
I don't know. I mean, he seemed reasonable. Like, we didn't get in a fight.
Right.
Like, there was no fight there.
Wow.
So we worked it out, whatever it was. But yeah, there are anomalies, and it's neat. It's kind of cool that he made it to a leadership position. So he must have been a smart guy too, and he must have been a good guy, because I don't think a dick could have been in charge.
So did you hear of that story, the Kandahar Giant story? So supposedly what happened is it's American military guys encountered this guy in the mountains.
Yeah.
That was just absolutely enormous. They said he was like 12 feet tall.
Yeah. Well, what happened with the Nephilim? You know.
Right. That's the thing. Well, that was the thing is, like, supposedly they had 6 fingers and 6 toes as well.
Look, I believe that things come to visit, and sometimes things get left behind, and who knows? Who knows? You know, there's a good chance that he's maybe just a little bit closer to all that, or somehow a recessive and a recessive somehow found their ways together, and there you go.
And somehow there's a surviving population of these people still in the world that are undiscovered.
It's a beautiful part of the world, that region. Perfect climate, super fertile. Like, if there was nothing, what a beautiful place to start life. Afghanistan is a beautiful country, so rich for agriculture. The climate is perfect, you know, with the mountains and the rivers, the seasons. It's tough to beat. You know, I would understand why people would fight so hard to have that territory. And, you know, if you were a giant, 12 feet tall, and you could live anywhere you wanted, you know, in a valley where the rivers fed your land, I could pick there. Yeah.
Did you hear that story when you were over there?
That story's famous. Yeah. And I asked around. I've never met anybody who was involved in that op. I haven't. But
it seems like a story that has something to it, because there's too many people telling that story. There's only one story like that.
There are a lot of stories.
There's more stories like that?
There are.
I mean, I should say there's only one story like that online that people repeat over and over again, this one encounter.
There are fascinating stories out there. Some that I'm closer to.
Like what?
Probably the most interesting story that I'm in any way kind of close to is from that region of the world, and this is a whole nother can of worms, but it's so weird. It's demonic possession. You know, we had a guy. I worked with him very closely. For a super smart guy, great guy, awesome dude, awesome soldier, and yeah, I mean, he got possessed by a demon. He started speaking in tongues. He knew everything about everybody. He could speak different languages. He knew everything about everybody's life. He knew all their sins.
What?
He knew all the sins people did, even from their childhood.
What?
That he got taken to the medical system before they knew it. He was out of the medical system, and he was with the padre, the priest that comes along on some military missions. They did what do you call that when you cleanse the demon from what do you call
exorcism?
That? They did an exorcism. They sent him back to Canada. He's now watched by the church. He has to go and check in with the church every week. I don't know what to tell you, Joe. There's a lot I don't know, but yeah. And the crazy thing is the priest who did the exorcism said he knew the demon. He'd already he'd already done the exorcism like 3 or 4 times
on different people.
Yeah, that demon was like popping in and out of guys. Yeah. So look, Joe, I don't know what's going on in the world. I'm an arm wrestler. Okay,
but this guy knew things about you.
No, I wasn't on the tour, but the unit's very small. Okay, all the guys who were there, I have very close personal relationships with, and there's no reason for me not to trust them. And this is and the guy who had it done to him, I'm very close with. Like, he comes over he was my stall partner. Okay, and I see him all the time.
When you say had it done to, the guy who was possessed.
Yes,
you knew him.
I know him very well.
And what did he say about it?
Yeah, he doesn't like it very much. Yeah, it scared him a lot. Yeah.
Does he recall being able to speak different languages?
Yeah, he can remember it. Yeah, he can remember.
But he can't speak those languages anymore.
Speak those languages. No, it was like he was aware of everything happening, but he was a visitor. He was like there for the ride.
Whoa.
Yeah. Apparently when it started, he was freezing. He was locking up. And then he was locking, and then he started speaking in tongues, and then he was like fully, Joe, it's weird stuff out there, man. There's a lot of things that we don't understand, right? And yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. It wasn't me, but I trust the story because I know the people. I know them. I know them very. I could hook you up with them. You want to talk to them? Tell you.
I'm nervous.
Tell you all about it.
I don't think I would.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how long was he possessed for?
He was possessed, I think, for a couple of weeks. Maybe like a week or 10 days. Something like that. Wasn't super long. But he was all messed up afterwards. He was done working after that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
He retired?
Medical.
Wow.
Yep.
But psychologically, like, it wasn't like he had a schizophrenic break. So whatever it was, he came back from.
I don't know that schizophrenia can explain the languages.
No.
I don't know that
No, I don't think it can. But what I'm saying is they didn't diagnose him as having...
No, the diagnosis was he had to go to church.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Right? Isn't that wild?
That's so crazy.
That's one of the craziest ones that I've seen personally.
Have you heard of other experiences like that where people have been possessed?
That's it.
Well, you would think that if a demon was going to visit someone, war would be the place to visit them.
And that's an ancient. That was in Iraq. That was in Erbil. Wow. Okay, and I mean that's an ancient part of the world.
Yeah.
So, whatever's like history is long, and misunderstood, and something's going on. Something's going on. I can't explain it. And I've kind of just been like, I'm kind of like, at this point in my life, I'm like, whatever. I know I don't know everything. I'm just gonna do wrist curls in my basement for next time. Yeah, he's awesome. Martin, if you're watching, come over. Let's party. Yeah. I love this guy.
Does he talk about it?
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit. I'm so curious about it.
Do you think he would come on here and tell a story?
Yep.
Really?
Sure. Of course he would. Of course he would.
I'm nervous. You nervous, Jamie? Are you nervous, Jamie?
Yeah. Martin, yeah, he's a cool dude.
Wow.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah, great soldier. Yeah.
Whew. Brother, you've had a pretty wild life.
It's been great, really. Ton of fun. Happy to be here. Yeah, it's been good.
Well, I really enjoyed this conversation, man. I'm glad we did it.
Joe, thank you so much. And really, like, I feel like it's kind of closing the loop for something with my brother.
Yeah, well, we should tell everybody. I knew your brother before I met you online, and this is from your brother. Your brother made this candle, and this candle will now sit here. He is no longer with us, but the candle will remain.
Thank you so much for your time, Joe.
My pleasure, brother.
Anytime you want to get into arm wrestling, come on over. We'll get your grip strength working for you.
No, I'm good, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Wonderful.
And good luck.
Yeah,
good luck beating that fucking giant dude.
I'm going to need it.
16 months?
16 months, man.
Maybe we'll talk to you before then. We'll do it again.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks, brother. All right. Bye, everybody.